to kind of a nice middle ground here where we can expect a really close matchup between these two.
What's really interesting is both of these two teams hover just near the 50% defensive win rate mark, amongst the worst in the whole competition. In fact, the teams that have got worse are the ones that are going home. Team Joel, Oxygen, and Scars all sitting below 50%. CAG currently sit at 49.4%. And Secret at 51%. I imagine whoever finds themselves heading further down that number will be the ones going home come the end of this series. Now, Cyclops, blue side defense means our bans are flipped as usual. So Secret have banned away Deimos. A fair few targets coming in there, I'd imagine, against the other side. There's a couple of players at CAG that love that operator. And their defender ban is going to be the Clash. So not banning away a shield. The Monty is available. Could yet see Anaton have a lot of fun with that operator. Otherwise, the Blackbeard was taken away by Cyclops at the very start.
Final ban will come through. We'll see who it is. I would make a guess at somebody like Azame, Valkyrie, Mira. One of those. We will see who Secret go for. Otherwise, looking fairly... Yeah, we go. Azame going to be the one. Azame, I think, without looking at the stats, I would say off the top of my head is almost certainly the most banned operator, probably along with Monty. Monty's seen an awful lot of bans as well, but Azame just so regular in there. The keeper barricades particularly powerful. Here on console, you're looking at areas like vending machine, long dash. You can use them inside a meeting. You're looking at downstairs in the basement. You can hold pillar really well with them. There's all sorts of places that utility becomes really useful.
The bans make a lot of sense when you see the, as I was mentioning, the kind of target bans that came out. The Clash definitely going in towards Anaton. Believe it or not, Tim is top 3 most played operator. Plays a lot of Kaid and Bandit otherwise. And then the Deimos coming in against, I believe it was Shureneko I saw earlier on. In fact, on Malara, it was Shuri that one is targeted against. And the Azami, although it's kind of a self-inflicted blow, is a ban against Shureneko. So everyone's taking a bit of pain in this ban phase, but it still means that we've got ourselves an exciting game coming up. So let's get into things. Cyclops on the defense to kick things off. We're up on this top floor, and Secret have got to try their best to break this Japanese team down.
Gone for the full reinforce towards admin, so that's telling us that they're expecting potential pressure coming from that side from Team Secret. They're going to look to try and hold them out of there, make sure that they can't get that beachhead, they can't get that ground and work through comfortably into copy, because that's what Secret would look to do if they got themselves into admin. You can use that wall potentially to push on through.
A lot of smokes in back pocket as well. 4 to be precise, plus 2 that you got the smoke bolts coming out of Virtue. No Glaz on side. Normally you'd see that paired up in this kind of lineup. But clearly it's more about the execute. In fact, we see this one so many times over, just without a Grim on side that you commonly see for a window take and an execute just inside of it. They make it a little bit harder, forcing you to make sure you've got that pressure in below at the same time. For now, focusing on getting Cubby opened up. Kind of step one of any attack onto this site, doesn't it, Tim? Because it's that pressure that it invites. It just reminds the defenders, we can just step inside the site if we want to and start putting pressure on you, so you're going to have to respect that that's always a thing. Be very conscious of the angles that are exposed to it.
Quick work of the Twitch drone from Adrian there, just getting in, removing that Vulcan canister and the mute jammer as well, just freeing up that CEO window for them to go in and plant should they choose to do so. They need some pressure from connector, bathroom, elsewhere to allow them to do that, but that's going to be the next job. However, Shuri manages to pick up Savage, and that's a big loss. The Ying is gone.
It's got to be remembered, with every kill, with every round that slips away from Secret, it's another dent in their chances at being able to make it to stay in Phase 2 of the Six Invitational. Else CAG hold on to that spot. If you are following along, keep an eye on CAG's score. All they've got to do is get one map, and it is theirs for the taking. I'll stash up on the windows without the Ying on side, as you say, Tim. Feels like a bit painful. You need that for this execute, so they're going to have to come up with a new plan here. I don't think you can easily go for a standard hit. Like, sure, you've got the smoke bolts, you've got fire, you can make something work, but it is certainly not going to be anywhere near as effective as usual.
It is still possible. If you fire off the half wall so that they can't swing from there, you've got the Book of Doom underneath to open up desk, for example, clear out the center of sight. It is possible to still go in. The Vulcan canister is gone. You can get in there and get that diffuser down. Adrian with a big kill onto Cyreneko, and this is possible now. Get in there, Virtue fire off the half wall, Grubby on the cover, make sure they can't swing from half wall, and you could get that diffuser down.
A great smoke angle they've lined up there as well to do so from range in relatively safe position at the same time. In comes that step that I spoke about, though. With this hole being opened up, there's always potential threat coming on through, and that's exactly what they've found into a 2 versus 2. They're trying to hold on to the very best here, but Doom has taken no more of that nonsense. Marches on forward and finds one. Groovy gets his second. The Secrets take round 1.
Really good from them. No panic in them, despite losing that man early. Still went in, The plan was there, slight adaptation, got the job done. And it is a big loss having that Ying taken away from you. So really well done from Team Secret to overcome that and to move forward. I think we're going to see Cyclops move away from that top floor. They're not going to double down and go there again. Going to be down to the basement this time, where they will try and get their first successful defense. This is, of course, as we said, Team Secret's map pick, so we expect them to come out strong here. Team Secret have to have a 2-0. So they've got to win these first 2 maps, otherwise they will be exiting the tournament before the end of the day.
Savage has long been a Shield player, Tim. I think even before changes to them recently, and even prior to them becoming as powerful as they were. And guess what he's looking towards this round? A blitz currently being hovered over. Now, Cyclops is a team from the Japan region. If you haven't watched too much of the Japan League, there's only one thing you should know, is that I think it was last year we had a 32% ban rate against Monty. And this is before Shields were as oppressive as they were. And there was one reason why the ban rate was that high.
Aniton!
And it was because of Aniton. If anyone knows how to play against Shields and all the different tech that you can do to unsettle someone and kill off a Shield player, it's most likely going to be Cyclops. So I don't think they'll be too fazed by this. They should at least have a read on what Secret are going to do. Should be expecting Shields, given they've done their homework into Savage and the rest of Team Secret. Hopefully with those 2 C4 stashed in back pocket, along with the smokes, and the Legion and the goo mines, they've got enough here to deal with it.
Bringing along the blitz opens up the possibility of pushing from the rear side. Definitely, you can get that hatch open, drop down, and use the blitz to close the ground and bully the defenders back in towards the breached area that you've just made there. We'll see whether that's their choice or not, but the breach has been opened very, very quickly there. So this is good work from Team Secret. There was no denial to prevent them doing that, no electricity, no mute, anything like that. So they've taken that opportunity. But look at Savage up above. They're using him for roam clearance at the minute, just to make sure Piano's clear. But did you see him just descend then? He's coming down to Archives and he's going to move through on that rear side of push that I suggested they might go for.
Like I stated, they should know how to deal with this, and so far dealing pretty damn well. Might get a couple of kills, but the back of that rush in as a team where they've now taken control of the site. Shireneko's nowhere to be seen. To the other side of the map. Well, the rest of his team's getting absolutely smashed to pieces. He's wondering what the hell's going on. And sure enough, has been finished off. Sure, it's got it all to do by himself. User's going down, and this one, Tim, it's cooked.
I think at this point, deal is already done. Manages to get one onto the blitz. Tries to survive outside while he hits the reload, but Adrian is there to mop it up. And that's going to be round 2 going to Secret. That was a really good attack from Secret. So they took the choice to get that breach open really quickly because it makes Cyclops look towards that direction. You think, are they going to pour in through there? Are they going to pour in through yellow? Where is the push going to come from? But instead, you've got the blitz coming down into Archives and then just comes through, bullies Pillar into yellow stairs, clears it all out. Great stuff from Team Secret. Those first 2 rounds, Des, they've looked really, really good. Better than I've probably seen so far. Absolutely in command of this one, and you can see how much Cyclops, they're feeling the pressure, ripping the timeout immediately, practically.
Yeah, this is not a good start to the map for them, and I always appreciate an earlier timeout. I think it's a good thing to be able to rip out when you need it. Most teams will stall it out and wait till things start to look a little bit too dangerous and then pull it. When you've maybe got like a round or 2 to work with, it's already too late at that point, Tim, because all it takes is a rush from the other side to try and disrupt whatever it is that you spoke about during that timeout, and everything falls apart, the map's over, and you've lost. So I actually quite appreciate the fact that they've called this in so early on and said, cool, let's have a conversation about this, what we need to correct, and we go again.
Look, if things aren't working after 2 rounds, they're not going to magically work after 6 rounds.
No.
So, yeah, absolutely right. If you can see a problem there, get involved, try and make sure that it doesn't become a bigger issue. And that's what Cyclops have done. But it does add a little bit of pressure to that tactical timeout. If they come out and lose the next couple of rounds again, you don't have that option anymore. It's been taken away from you. So what do you do then? Really important, therefore, that Cyclops look at getting themselves a win now. And interestingly, they've taken the split site. Archives and Tellers, not an easy one to hold on to this because Secret have got a number of options. They can get into admin, try to work vertically, get a plant in Tellers. They can come in through garage, work laterally across, try and take that ground and get a plant inside of Archives. A combination of the 2 attack from above and below. Very, very difficult at times to hold on to.
I think for Cyclops, the one thing I clocked back in the first round was June was playing underneath. Sorry, not June, sorry. Groovy was playing by himself underneath. Picked out the 1v1, then just sat and held yellow, giving nowhere for CAG to be able to rotate down if required, to play for C4s and things like that, while June tore them up in the site itself. So there's more than just a we've been rushed in round 2 issue there, I think, to discuss. Actually, much more down to the fact that one player in 2 separate parts of the map has walked through, found a couple of kills, and won the round for the team. Whether or not it's the Cyclops aren't communicating properly, whether the confidence is at a low, I don't know. Hopefully that's been somewhat addressed by our attack time out. A little bit more CAG style coming in here with some C4s coming out towards the external parts of the building. I think quite naturally the Japan League, we're used to seeing a lot of aggression early in the round. And I'm glad that CAG at least showing that rather than sitting back and letting Secret be the ones to aggress onto them.
They have lost Shurip already, which means they've lost control of those FNAT devices as well. Whichever are activated, and whichever aren't will stay. So for the rest of the round, now then we're going to have a lot of utility dumped around that hatch. The drop comes in.
Easy.
Doom hits his shots. Beautiful stuff. Blackray is there for the trade, but once again the Blitz is getting in amongst them, forcing them around. Virtue finds the kill. This is great. Savage just shepherding people into the lines of fire of his teammates. He's throwing the diffuser down as well. 4v2. Chibisu and Shiraneko need to get something going soon.
A huge attention soak, isn't he? And this is why shields can be so powerful. It's not just about their lethality. It's about the fact that they draw eyes to them. You just know that if they drop the shield for half a second, they can kill you, so you've got no choice but to keep a close eye on them. Very cozy round, and Groovy with a 3K. And I'll give nothing else, Tim. That round was even worse for Cyclops. Team Secret really on a roll now.
Yeah, they've certainly got the end goal in mind, haven't they, Team Secret here? They know how important it is that they get off to a good start, they get this first map, but it's also about the fashion in which they take that map. They need a 2-0, so they can't let Cyclops feel like it was close. They don't want overtime, they don't want 7-5, and Cyclops going onto their own map feeling like they're kind of in this one. They want to absolutely batter them here, steamroller through it, get that first map, and then you can get onto the second one with maybe the mental broken a little bit on the other side, so that you've got that opportunity on Nighthaven Labs to rescue your situation here in the Six Invitational 2025.
Yeah, that second map is going to be the real big one to build into, I think, for Cyclops, knowing it's theirs. Again, they just need just one. Just the one, guys. It's not like we're asking a whole lot here. But the Secret have gone away and had a word with themselves and realised how poorly they've started the tournament so far, and have come back a bit of a different beast. It is going to be difficult to upheave them. Let's see how things go for our second quarter of the map, though. We speak about this quite a lot. Quarters, generally, you play the same 3-site rotation. I think we are changing things up a little bit here for round 4. You have the anticipation that you're going to see the same 3 sites again, and it's a case of learning from the last round, but also as the victor of that round, changing around what you're doing, so it's not super countable and predictable. All the onus really comes onto Secret to keep things fresh here and keep CAG on the back foot.
Drones will head straight into garage. Make sure that there's not going to be any sort of challenge onto them from yellow stairs. Just hovering there around the little closet window at the side of Piano. I can't see them sending the blitz in just yet. Savage will hold his position. Needs to be careful here, actually. The Nitro is primed and ready to go over the top. I spoke about it yesterday, I love the pre-rip on a Nitro. If you know you're going to use it somewhere, get it ripped early, and then they don't hear it coming. But for the time being, Team Secret are looking for that top floor control. A lot of damage done to the blitz. Nitro goes out, but it is not going to find its mark as June manages to take down Anaton. Blackray is there, however, for the trade. They haven't dealt with the blitz yet, though, and they've got Blackray down as well. There goes the Nitro. 3 versus 3. Still looking good for Secret.
They've really got to push aggressively here as well. Oh, and then they get both. The nade comes down onto 1. Blackray's going to fall at the same time. Chibisu gone, 2 removed. And it looks like they might have enough here, Tim. In fact, no, 2 are on deck. Groovy's all alone. Will he be able to get his teammate up? Yes, he has. A 2v1. And Shuri, Tim, we've seen him go nuclear on international events before. Now's the time to do it.
Maybe just over-aggressing here, Team Secret. Giving the opportunity to Shuri to find that kill. Not really spread out enough. It's winnable for him to hit both of those shots. Now he finds him in a 1v1 and he cuts down Groovy. Another fine angle. Takes him out and Cyclops get their first round. I feel like that 3v1 then was really, it's always going to be winnable for a team, but it should have been won by Team Secret. They just haven't really done anything. Sure, it gets the first one, fair enough, but then when you've got Groovy and Virtue left at the end, they kind of just stick together there. You know, Grubby doesn't maybe come round to lounge. Virtue keep himself on yellow stairs, give Grubby time to relocate, get himself round to lounge, and then they push in from opposite directions. And all of a sudden, Sharip's situation becomes a lot worse. But they've both pushed from the same direction. They've both given him the opportunity to take them down.
Must be the question mark around Virtue's plan there as well in terms of lying down, going prone and stepping forwards. If it wasn't being watched, then yeah, fair enough. You probably get the advantage in a 1v1, but given the angle is being watched by Shureep, 9 times out of 10, he is winning that one. He's always going to see you first as you shuffle your way forwards. Good news is, though, Tim, for CAG and the rest of the Japan League fans out there, they've got a round on the board. They're now underway. The chase begins. They're now 2 rounds behind Secret, though, so there's still a bit of work to be done. But hopefully they can carry on in the second quarter and bag a couple more.
We've got a similar lineup to the one that we had in the first round from Secret, but the Ying is not present. Savage this time is going to be bringing the Twitch rather than the Ying. We've got the Grim, no Lion, so they've mixed it up a little bit in the repick phase there. See where they're going to go with this. We've got the Capitao. It's still definitely possible for a yellow-sided take. Get yourself in there, clear off CEO, get some sort of plan down using bathroom window for cover, open closet. We'll see whether that's what they go for, or maybe they'll pay a little bit of attention over to admin side as the round progresses.
Yeah, it's the usual kind of start for the round, right? Homework being done, early control being taken by Secret, scrap over Cubby now being established. We already spoke before about the threat that this Cubby gives. We saw Adrian step into it towards the end of the last round, or the last time we attacked this site, sorry, and started proving a little bit of bother for CAG to deal with. So it's a similar story.
Yeah.
It's there, it's open. It is a reminder that they can come in at any time, but otherwise there's a lot of utility to chew through on this default plant spot. Already getting the Vulcan canisters gone. There's a bulletproof to remove too. No doubt some more stuff to chew through before they can even think about the execute.
Yeah, I'm just kind of... Shuri has tried to push, Siren Echo it was, who's underneath. I think Shuri was down there with him at a point. He's back up on the top floor now, but Siren Echo is going to find himself down. They're definitely looking for this window plant. Virtue's going to rappel in now. They've got the Twitch drone there. The reason that he's sitting on the Twitch drone is he wants to watch for any nitros thrown, and the plan is to shoot them out with the Twitch drone. It's not an easy one to do. I don't think he's going to need to.
Beautiful.
The cover is there from Savage. That's really well worked from Secret. 3-man plant. One goes in and puts the diffuser down, one covers the half-wall swing, and one is sat on the Twitch drone ready to shoot out any nitro that comes in. You've got the book underneath, and it's a perfect round, really, from Team Secret. Jibasu manages to find Doom. That's likely to be all that he'll get.
It's a nice shot, but when you've got this exposed to the window like this, you've really got to be doing far more. You've got to be throwing players out the building at that point, Tim. When you're the last one left alive, well, that simply is not going to happen.
That was really nice from Secret.
It was really good and
who
really
was
clean.
it? It was Rin, wasn't it, that we saw shoot out a nitro with a Twitch drone?
Yes.
Successfully.
And we were just like, nah.
That's what they were
you're
looking
kidding.
to do. That's why the Twitch was repelled on the window. Savage was there, and he just sat himself on the Twitch drone until the plant had gone down so that he could impact on any, utility that came forward like that. But it wasn't necessary in the end, and then he came off and just got a few kills.
Just being the planter in that situation, you've got so much faith in your teammates. It's an important thing at the top level as well.
I die regularly in that position.
You don't. Do you still trust your teammates?
No. No, I've been tracking stats about successful and failed cover for that reason. I'm coming with receipts.
Oh, Jackers and Fresh not in for a good time then by the sounds of it.
Fresh's cover's fine.
Jackers is not. I love how we're exposing stat members now, boys. It's not good. But if nothing else, I think this is why we're on this side of the desk, Tim, and why the players are over there. They have got that trust in each other.
Exactly.
We've seen events historically where individual team members have clearly lost trust in their teammates and are doing things that, despite having yellow pins coming through or communication coming out, they're ignoring it and doing their own thing, and it comes back to bite you. In that situation there, for example, you get scared and come off the defuse because you think you might get pushed. Well, what's the point? You're going to lose to the team, so it is really important that faith is there, and clearly it was, and they are rewarded. Last round of the half now, and Secret in with a good chance of getting a 5-1 over Cyclops to start things out. It is Secret's map pick. You would expect them to look good on the attack here. Have yet got to defend, and Tim, as I always say, 2 halves to a game of Siege. You could see a very different and very disappointing Secret on the defensive side, and a very emboldened CAG when they go on to attack.
I honestly think we're going to get a quick map on Consulate here. I think Secret are going to win this out comfortably. I'm kind of expecting a 5-1 half now, get this done, and then I can't see them being any less positive on the defense, to be honest. Like you say, it can change, the momentum can swing, but I think that they're going to be fairly comfortable. They really seem to have the task at hand in mind, and they are pushing hard to make sure that they get that 2-map win that they need. Attacking onto basement once again. We saw this last time. So it was clear above with the blitz and then down into archives, whilst a little bit of attention paid to the front side as well. But Adrian is going to be taken down. I'm interested to see... Ooh, Sharik manages to find Grubby as well. I'm interested to see whether the breach has been opened or not. Because if it hasn't, that could be a big problem for Secret. They're going to be forced into using yellow stairs and the archives side.
Vertical control established for Secret. It's not looking too bad for them at all. I know that they're down a man here, but
That's
they've got
not
the
good.
control they need. Now about the gathering together of these Cyclops members. No one else is on the roam, I think. I think everyone is now playing on the downstairs, so there's at least that little bit of safety and security to play with. As long as they can isolate out some gunfights here, make it work as a team, there's probably every chance they can catch out these CAG members.
Virtue's low health as well. You can see that Cyclops are happy to drop back here. The hatch has been open, but there's no threat coming from the breach itself, so they don't really need to worry about that side too much. As long as they can see yellow door and have an impact on that, they should be pretty fine here. They just need to wait and see what Secret do. Don't move around too much. Shuri gives himself away there to the bottom of Spiral.
It's okay because he was the most isolated of the 4 players here, out in the room towards the east, looking in towards server side. The others are all stacked more in towards site. So whether or not it's a bit of a bad position from Shuri or not, I'm not sure, but regardless, it's giving things equalized for Secret. Still with 45 seconds to play, still with a shield at the helm, but there are 2 C4s to challenge them.
Nitro in hand, pre-ripped, ready to roll. Just waiting to see whether Secret are pushing forward or not. But instead, Doom is going to look to pressure in behind the blitz. Smoke canister goes out. Virtue's working from the opposite side. Beautiful kill from Virtue. That might just be go time. It is. Doom finds Anaton. But Virtue down. Doom's left all alone. The blitz has been taken out. It's him versus Chibisu. A little ring around the roses here to see who sees who first. Chibisu takes some damage. Takes a lot more as Doom steps around. I didn't know who was going to swing first there. But Doom, he wins it out. A very solid half to start things off for Secret. This is more the Team Secret that we've been expecting to see at this tournament. Des coming in. They're definitely delivering, at least to begin with.
Yeah, Doom being the big one there. I was just like, oh, he missed those first couple of shots, and I thought, oh no, he's letting it away with it. We're going to find a headshot coming back the other way. The Cyclops are going to take the round, but well composed. It was the thing I was speaking about. I know they were down a player, and normally they would be looking at it saying, oh, it's a 4v3. This is simple now, but Shuri, as we clocked, was so isolated that I thought he'll get punished here. As long as Team Secret know where he is, there's no way that he gets out of this one alive, and they played the rest of it out incredibly well. Virtue, I would say unlucky, but more, I suppose, in the bad position to walk into one of those FNAT mines and leave himself blinded for what could have been a 2K for him. Still gets the one that's required, and Secret get the half done. 5-1. Very good. Now we get to see how they fare on their defense. It can be a very different story. Because the team's done well on the attack, it doesn't mean they're going to succeed on the defense, but we do back Secret, given how impressive they looked in that first half.
Yeah, 2 smart kills from Team Secret there. They've kind of let Cyclops do the hard work for them. The first one came from bottom Spiral onto Shuri, as you say, who was a little bit isolated and trying to return. But then Virtue, again, good positioning at the bottom of yellow, just holds that line through to cafeteria, and Cyclops present him with the opportunity. So they've allowed their enemies to do the work for them. It's one of those, isn't it? Don't interrupt your enemy whilst they're making mistakes.
Exactly.
And they just allowed them to move around, picked up the kills as they did. Good stuff, Team Secret. 5-1, they move on to the defense, and they will see if it continues, but they look solid so far.
They did. No one gone down as of yet, but no need to at this point. I'm going to go too aggressive onto Cyclops. Again, we know that they like playing the more aggressive style. Doom actually trying to match their energy by the looks of it. Don't think I'll get rid of Anaton here, who is now long gone. If you tried to go for it, well, you've got yourself very exposed on the outside. No one trying to rat around the front door side. No nasty surprises to start things off for CAG. We get about 50 seconds into the round so far.
Continuing to open up those admin windows. Nobody really established inside of the map yet for Cyclops. Ruby's going to get that Nitro out. He's ready to hard challenge onto admin here should they come in. Cyclops, just take a little bit of a breather, send in the drones, see exactly what's going on. Will they drone far enough to know that Grubby is there waiting, poised, with Nitro in hand? That's going to be the big question. He's actually, I was going to say he's pocketed it. Out it goes. It's too soon. They're not inside yet, Grubby. But he's still in a position to try and hold them at bay. 1 minute 30. Cyclops not in the map yet.
So for that, we have the outlines, of course. No, he hasn't pushed forward, but you assume with the Grim Bees coming in and not tagging you up that they must be pushing in at that time. Assuming that it'll be open, it'll be clear, sorry, here inside a break, but nope, tucked in. And a missed time C4, sure, might cost them a little bit. They're starting the march forward, Tim. CAG are now getting some control inside of admin. It's going to be a real scrap over here.
Grubby's playing his life here. He's got the bandit battery on top of the hatch as well, so that they can't do anything about the hatch from underneath with a Hibana or anything. I know they don't have it, but he's not to know that coming into the round. But he's definitely locked himself in here. And Cyclops don't have an answer. They're dying around him whilst they try to get him cleared out. They're eventually going to get the kill as Echo steps in and manages to find him. But the damage might be done, Des. We're down to 45 seconds and it's 4v3.
Good,
Shuri down as well.
I'd say making a 4v2 while he's down on his backside, yeah. Not sure how that happened, but Virtue's going to finish him off. Looking very comfortable for Secret at this point. Anderson going to try and do what he can here. Gets in deep, tries to tuck, but sadly hasn't got control of short. Goes down to that. Echo picking up the kill. What's left to say? 2 and 6. He's got 3 players to come up against. There are 2 smokes in back pocket for Adrian. This round is done.
Almost certainly. They know where he's coming from now. Just going to wait for him to make that final push. They know it's going to be one of 2 directions. Even if he doesn't come through to meet indoor, it's unlikely with 15 seconds that he's going to leave admin and try to push anywhere else. He just needs to move forward, try and get the kills, but utility's just raining on out now. It doesn't really matter what Team Secret do. Doom does manage to pick up the challenge, but Toxic Babe canister and the Vulcan canister both detonated. Absolutely nothing that could be done. 6-1. Team Secret are speedrunning Consulate.
Yeah, extremely comfortably as well. Did not look threatened at all on that first defense, and I expect the same will carry on into our next site. We spoke about the numbers behind this the other day, actually. Cafeteria, then garage down in the basement. It's actually the worst site to defend. It's got the best attacking success for attackers. The best defensive one is actually on the first floor inside of Expo and Trophy. So, Expo and Piano, sorry. So looking at it, if you're going to have any chance here, CAG, it has to be on this site, but it's got to be very put together. The 5-round deficit, for me at least, there's one way this map goes.
Yeah.
And it's not to Cyclops.
No, I don't think there's, personally, not just going off the score. Yeah, it's easy at 6-1 to say, it's unlikely Cyclops bring this back. Of course they're not going to bring it back, or very unlikely, it's very rare. I'm looking more at the way that they're playing as well. In terms of the way they're playing, if Cyclops show me anything that makes me think they can turn this around without considerably improving their play, and the answer is no, they haven't. They haven't, in that last round, been able to establish themselves inside of the map. It took them the longest time to deal with Grubby. They didn't have any answer for that. It punished them. They wasted way more than half of the round in getting that kill. They lost a couple of bodies along the way, and it was just too big a problem for them to solve. So, yeah, I think ultimately, whether it's this round, the next, the one after, Secret will get this locked up and go 1-0.
Cyclops have a grand total of 18 kills across those first 7 rounds. Doom and Grubby together have 20. Just to help illustrate that picture a bit deeper for you, they are not firing on all cylinders on this first map. Sure, there's been a moment or two. Sharif's clutch, for example, the one that won them the round, is one of them, but that's really about all that's been going for them. Everything else has been a very slow and torrid start for the Japanese team. My worry is if this carries on to the second map, well, you're giving away your chance to make phase 2. It's a massive accomplishment for a team to get to that stage and start battling to be in our live finals next weekend. That's how things are starting to shake up for the Japanese side. I am worried for them. Here comes that first call coming out of CAG to try and start their march on forward.
Bronze will continue to race through just ahead of the shield of Anatan. Try and get him any information that they can, make sure that his path is clear. He is there to clear roamers at this point. They're not finding anybody for the time being. The mute jammer is going to slow them down as well. Still plenty of work for Cyclops to do here. What they're doing is good so far. Get that control. Then Black Ray can start working in Piano and Expo, getting that floor ripped up. But Doom is still up above. Going to take a lot of damage there. Drops back down, actually. Says that's enough. Savage is at the top of Spiral at the minute, though, and could be in a position to challenge them. Cyclops need to make sure that they've picked him up as well.
There's other work going on above. Well, getting busy. I was going to say big. C4s are going to start heading skyward. There were 4 of them coming into the round. And yep, it's gone away. Still got the book on side, so can do a lot of the soft work, but getting that hatch opened up, that's not going to be so easy for you.
Yep.
This time around, Tim, they're going to have to do things the old-fashioned way. Either hold these angles and then push down yellow, or potentially try and go in through the main breach. But even that is not going to be so easy without the hard breacher on side.
No,
and that means that mirror that's on that wall as well stays fully closed up. It was there to be able to respond and counter and destroy off a thermite charge, for example. But that's not even going to be an option. So very quickly, Cyclops are running out of options.
Yeah, it was. You don't get to pick. When you're going for a nitro like that, you don't get to pick, but Secret couldn't have landed it better, really. Removing Surineko just removed so many options for Cyclops. Let's see what they choose to do. Doom has got himself back to site. Low health, needs to just be careful which engagements he takes. Cyclops are really committing to this top floor presence. They're going to send the blitz in. Jibisu does manage to find one, takes down Grubby. That's the mute gone. So, can the blitz get anything going from them? We've just hit another little bit of a pause here for Cyclops. And with 20 seconds, they don't really have that much time. Here comes the swing, gone to security, but no, Adrian is there, he's ready. It looks like he might be heading upstairs to try and retake. 15 seconds left to go, 3v3.
Really not a lot of time to work with here, Tim. And one's down as well. It's all down to Anderton to try and get this done. Diffuse is going down, but he pulls off Tim on no. May have had a chance to get away with it. Steps forward to go for a one-tap headshot. Doesn't find it. And Secret, very cozy and pedestrian first map.
Yep, lock it out in quick fashion, 7-1. They look good for it as well, to be honest with you. They were in control of the map at all times. They were hitting their shots, finding their kills. There was that one round where I was critical of them and would remain, so I don't think they played that fantastically. Cyclops picked that one up, but other than that, you know, I'm just looking for problems at that stage, to be honest. Secret have had all the answers. Good start from them. They win Consulate.
What more can be said, really? It was we were talking about how long the games have been so far. Literally 25 minutes ago, Tim, we were stood here saying, tell you what, it could be a long day if this carries on. And I think Secret heard us.
Secret must have just been thinking, you know, poor Ace and Des. You know, they've had a long day here. Let's try and wrap things up a bit quicker for them.
Well, I imagine it'll be a very, very quick break in the same way it was a very, very quick game. But we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Serei dizer assim, porque realmente é a realização de um sonho. Porque quando eu entrei nesse lugar, eu vi a magnitude do que é isso daqui. E de lembrar desde o início, tudo que o Rainbow trouxe pra gente foi assim, incrível. Na hora que a orquestra começou a tocar o primeiro som do jogo, eu fiquei da mesma forma. Não aguentei, foi muito bom. E uma das coisas que a gente mais falou foi: aqui a gente vai ter muita história para contar.
Meu nome é Lorena Miller. Eu tenho 31 anos, sou de Manacapuru, que é o interior do Amazonas, mas eu moro em Manaus já há bastante tempo. Bom, aqui em Manaus a gente tem bastante coisa, mesmo limitado, né? A gente sabe que aqui na região norte é um pouco difícil, algumas situações que nem tudo chega para cá, o acesso é muito difícil. Mas assim, né, é o pulmão do mundo. Então é uma parte muito importante, não só de Manaus, do Amazonas, mas da região norte e do Brasil inteiro, né? Tem a Zona Franca, que fica aqui, então muita coisa é produzida aqui, mas realmente a parte cultural, a parte turística, realmente é um dos maiores focos. Eu sou professora de Educação Física da rede pública, né, a rede municipal. Meus alunos sabem que eu gosto muito de videogame, principalmente de Rainbow, né, porque sempre quando tem alguma transmissão que tá mais ou menos no horário de trabalho, às vezes eu deixo eles fazendo alguma atividade. Tem TVs em algumas salas, eu deixo lá para eles assistirem junto comigo enquanto eu escrevo alguma coisa no quadro. Bom, quando eu mostro o jogo para os meninos, né, quando eu mostro o Rainbow, eu sempre falo para eles essa questão de cooperar, que a comunicação, como você fala, se posicionar faz muita diferença. Na área da educação física, a gente tem a questão do tempo e espaço, nós temos a questão da lateralidade. No jogo, a gente se posicionar de uma forma correta. Então, a gente fala, vira para a esquerda, vira para a direita, olha tal canto. Então, tudo isso faz parte também do ensino da educação física. Então, sempre eu tento trazer algo que eles possam entender que isso eles podem levar para a vida inteira.
E aí, Vico, o que tu acha que vai rolar nesse nível aí? Como é que vai ser?
Ai, eu espero que pelo menos tenha brasileiro na final, né? A expectativa pelo menos é essa.
Do jeito que tá todo mundo jogando, eu acredito que vai ser difícil, né? Eu torço muito pelos brasileiros, mas assim, os times gringos são muito fortes. Eu tenho muito medo. O Canadian lá, um cara que joga muito, morro de medo. Sabe, poder ver tudo isso de perto, sabe, que acompanhar esse pessoal, um cenário desse jeito, põe todo mundo ali na tua frente, pra mim...
Vai ser muito louco.
Welcome back to the B stream here at the Six Invitational 2025, where we're just about to get underway with Cyclops. Hang on, it's already started. Oh, the first map's over. Never mind. Map 2's coming up, Nighthaven Labs. It was a bit of a quick one. Back on Consulate, Secret with a 7-1 victory. Blink and you'd miss it, Tim. Don't shake your head at me disapprovingly.
Game started, guys.
It started for
classic.
Secret, but not for Cyclops. There's some work to be done, and that's probably all that's best said about that map, I think.
Yeah, I think Cyclops
They didn't have a lot of fight.
They were just a bit slow to get into it, in all honesty. They gave too many opportunities to Secret with, rotations that Secret had already cut off. They were maybe a little bit slow on the problem solving. Secret just won a lot of gunfights as well when it came to those 50-50s. They were very, very good. So, yeah, Secret absolutely charging away with things. Just to remind everybody of the potential stakes at the moment. These two teams are fighting over 4th spot. So, if Secret get a 2-0 win, they will overtake Cyclops. They will go through to the next phase, and Cyclops will go out at the group stage. If Cyclops manage to get this next map, and it becomes a 2-1 for either team, even if Cyclops lose 2-1, they will still be the team that goes through.
Telling when the entirety of Cyclops' team got 20 kills between them.
Yep.
You see players hitting those kind of numbers by themselves in a single
from
map.
And Grubby.
Exactly, and even Doom himself towards 12, he's on the way towards their total count as a team.
Yep.
That's just how difficult it was, so there is work to be done for the side of Cyclops. This is going into their map pick. You'd hope to see them feeling a little bit more comfortable. Dare I say it looks a bit pedestrian on the team at the moment. Not quite locked in the way you'd hope to see for a team that is now facing going home if they don't get this one done.
The whole tournament rides on this one, guys.
Yeah. Dig in, lock in, focus. We good? Not entirely, apparently.
No. Going to be moving on to Nighthaven Labs as map 2. If that continues, we're going to be done in about 15 minutes and we're not going to see Skyscraper because that was an absolute speed run coming out of Team Secret, and I'm sure they're going to be keen to continue that because, let's be honest, that's what puts them through to the next phase. They will still go through to the lower bracket. They can't get themselves any further up than 4th, I don't believe I'm saying that. I will bring the thing up and check. I'm 99% sure in what I'm saying. So many different groups to look at and remember today, and so many teams changing place. But yeah, the best they can do is get on to 5 points, which will tie them up with Cyclops, but they will win the tiebreaker, which will send them above. So the best they can do is get into that 4th spot. It does also mean, I believe, again, we'll get full confirmation of this, but I believe it locks Shopify Rebellion into 3rd place now because Cyclops, by losing a map, can't get enough points to go ahead of Shopify Rebellion. Right. So the best that Cyclops can do with a win would be to stay in 4th. So Shopify get themselves away from that lower bracket, they get the extra life, and they go through into the top half of the draw.
I like what someone actually said in chat, Void94. This feels similar to that monumental choke to Team 1 all the way back in Mexico. CAG are getting CAG, sadly.
I remember
if you
that.
recall, they had to get a 7-2 on
Very
Consulate,
specifically a 7-2.
and it landed that way to get a tie break, which they did.
The only score that would see the match replayed, and I think that's the only time in Tier 1 Siege that we've had a match replayed.
Yeah, because the tie break, all the conditions were met for it to be a deadlock.
And we had to start at 2 a.m. in the morning in the UK covering it.
And that game, that next map of Chalet wasn't even that close. It was a pretty dominant affair coming out by Team 1. I was just like, oh man. Which is a shame because on that exact map we had some beautiful Monty drop shots from Anton, if you remember as well. It was terrifying.
The combination of the two maps were a hell of a game, a bit of a classic, really. Yeah, it was good.
My bans are normal, so Secret, this is their ban, taking away the book. Now, that is an interesting ban coming into Nighthaven. What I do think actually plays into Secret's hands here, Tim, is CAG are 4-0 on this map over the last few months. They've played a lot of Nighthaven, and Secret, therefore, have got loads of tape to go and review how they want to play it and how they can respond to what's being brought along. So that book is very deliberately going in towards them. The Deimos, the reverse coming in from CAG as well, a target ban against Secret. The two quite interesting attacker bans so far.
See if we get any mixing up done on the defender bans. Tubarão, not a completely unheard of ban, but not a regular ban either. Kind of smart, I guess, for Nighthaven Labs. There's some strong uses for Tubarão. You've got hatchers, particularly, I'm thinking Tubarão when you're down in the basement especially, but then again on top floor as well, keeping IT wall closed, preventing that from being opened, preventing warehouse hatch being opened on a basement defense, preventing the wall from being opened, the double wall being opened on warehouse defense. Lots that can be done with the Tubarão in this map, so that's going to be banned away, and the clash will finish things out before we get on into it. Looks like Secret on the defense are going to be going up to the top floor to kick things off.
You also want to, I know there's been a bit of confusion because the word mini-league has been used a lot. And the reason why you hear mini-league now rather than having head-to-head or mini-league is head-to-head is just a mini-league between two teams. Yeah. So it's a lot easier to simplify down the rule stack where the tiebreakers sometimes were 6 or 7 items long to now being, I think it's 4 in total, where mini-league is just mentioned. So someone in chat was like, actually, if CAG 7-0 is twice, they can knock Shopify down. No, they can't, because in the head-to-head against Shopify Rebellion, which is all that counts in that situation, where you're tied on points, Shopify Rebellion 2-0 CAG. They will always have a round advantage over them, and therefore, if things are tied, CAG will fall lower than them. So yes, they can recover this and land on the same points as Shopify Rebellion, but I don't believe they can go any higher. Just to settle that one. So mini-league, whenever you hear it, can refer to 2 teams, it can be 3 teams, it can be 4. It could even be all 5. It's probably a mathematical impossibility, but it can happen.
It just looks at the matchups between those teams, not
correct. Those that are tie-broken, yes.
Yeah. So if you've got 3 in there, it just looks at the results between those 3 teams rather than the ones external. So here we go. Let's get things underway and see if Cyclops can apply the brakes at all, because so far it's been an absolute steamroller of a performance from Team Secret. 7-1, they kick things off on Consulate. Blink and you would have missed it. So let's see, Cyclops, can you do any better? Straight away looking to breach that IT wall. Just working underneath as well to make sure there's no tricking, but how about that?
Oh dear.
Zoom straight out of warehouse wall, takes down Shirin Echo, and that's really smart. He's been waiting for that, because once that Zofia charge gets played to the underneath of IT wall, you know exactly where Zofia is, because they pretty much have to be stood outside of that window. So it's always a risk if you're going to clear out the bandit tricking. You've got to be careful for that run out, and Zoom has just punished them.
I mean, it's not the end of the world getting rid of a Zofia, but it does mean any shields would otherwise be established or things that you need to destroy away can't be done. Looking across the lineup, Tim, there's not really an awful lot of that. But of course, use it for below if there's any tricking coming in onto the IT wall. Things like the bandit on side help with that. Then sure, a Zofia is good for that. It's kind of an alternative to that buck being taken away from them, but I think it's going to matter all that much as it has been taken offline. Anaton on trusty old Blackbeard here, making his way in towards Electric, and a nade going over the top. Back to the old-fashioned ways of doing things. Tim, chuck a nade in to get rid of any gadgets and players and then get them all open. Love it.
Love to see it. Goes in, gets the job done. We hear that wall continue to be opened. Savage is just going to be holding the tight angle with the shotgun there onto electrical door. Needs to be careful of his backside. Needs somebody covering that, which looks like it's Virtue's job on the bandit. He's just repositioning himself in behind the pillar to allow him to be able to do that. They're kind of moving in between both sides at the minute so that he can watch Catwalk as well, which potentially going to be a little bit of pressure there. Adrian is out there, more of a hard position. Just moves himself back inside of sight for the time being. But Secret, I like what they're doing here. They're adjusting based on the pressure that's mounting in front of them. They're making sure they've got all their angles covered. 45 seconds and looking pretty good at the minute.
And I also like how they got the entry and then just like, right, back off, play defensive. No more craziness coming out of it as well. We haven't got to go too nuts on this. Just taking challenges when they make sense to do so. And like that, Tim, well, CAG are falling like a stack of dominoes right now. It's looking pretty miserable for them. Just one left standing. This map carrying on exactly how the previous one, I suppose, started and ended in very, very quick fashion. Absolute Secret dominance. 2 kills coming back for Anaton. 3 more to find feels like a bit too much of a tall order.
Stop swinging him now. There's absolutely no need. Make Anaton win the round.
There's always need, Tim.
There is never a need when Anaton's on a shield, Des. Manages to find 2, but that will be all. Grubby finishes it off, and that's going to be Team Secret taking the first round. A good solid defense from them, like I say. I was particularly impressed with the way that they were moving around dependent on what was happening in front of them. It was good adaptability. Right, that breach has been opened, so now we need somebody positioned there to watch that. They're also going to support Adrian, who's now moving inside. It was just very good very reactive defending, and I like to see it. They made life very, very difficult for Cyclops to really get anything going there. So heading into round 2, Secret continue the run of rounds that they have won in a row. If we have a look at Consulate, they won the last 4, so that now puts them at 5 rounds in a row. 5 rounds since Cyclops were able to secure 1.
I think we can forgive the one, Tim, and just say that they've won 8 in a row, if you like.
You can say whatever you'd like, Tim, it doesn't make it true.
The one that they won, like, I'd love to come around and say, oh, it's when CAG showed some promise and they would look great as a team. It was Shurik winning a 1v3 with a very questionable drop to the floor by Virtue to try and snake his way into that 1v1 that was never going to go in his favour. A bit of a slip up by Secret, admittedly, rather than CAG going on to directly win that round. That's just how dominant things have been so far. It's not looking pretty.
It's not. We're going to head down to basement this time around. Secret, once again, I think partly the answer for Secret here is get yourself out in the map and cause problems for Cyclops. That's what they've done. They've got one up above in storage. Cyclops are coming for the wall. They've got a Maverick, so there's not much point trying to do anything about this. Be careful. Just managing to run away there, Adrian. Almost got caught out. He's going to reapply a bandit battery, but in all honesty, the Maverick's going to clear him out really, really easily.
Missed.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. So, surely not. Surely not.
Oh, God. I mean, they didn't place it, which is the blessing, but they've really stuffed this up.
Maverick. You've got a Maverick. Please don't get bandit tricks.
Those two, are we guessing art now? Those 2 eyebrows that we're drawing on the wall, guys? Like, is it going to be a thing?
They're being careful because they don't want to expose Black Ray's feet. But instead of exposing Black Ray's feet, they're going to give an avenue for a Nitro to come out instead, which they weren't watching for. Anaton goes down. That's the loss of the Maverick. So there's going to be no more, at least, hard breaching where there's electrification. It doesn't matter because they've got both walls open now. They've got the Animus wall as well. So they kind of set up okay here as Cyclops. But the problem that they've got now is the 4v5 and Secret are out all over the map. So they're going to have to go and try and clear them. And they're going to lose more bodies. Doom takes down Chibisu. This is another good defense coming out of Team Secret.
Well, 4 players were stacked up on that main breach. A bit of a trade deal was offered. You give us the Maverick, we give you the wall. And I won't quite say CAG accepted it willingly. They were forced into it. Lost the life for it and a lot of time to boot. At least that main breach has opened up. But Tim, as we've seen so many times over, it's all good having the main breach. You now need the vertical control inside of storage. You ain't got that. They're going to gat you down as soon as you step in through that breach itself. So, a lot of work still to be done for Cyclops here. And quite finding what he needed there. I think he was hoping to just get the little one tap in, nothing to be discovered. His army on the other side of the castle barricade will happily sit there now and hold on. I feel that CAG are leaving themselves a bit too much to do here, Tim, with only 60 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Savage 100% should have been dead there. There's no 2 ways about that. For some reason, Black Ray felt the need to throw a flash at him. Wasn't going to do the job. I think, like you say, maybe just not finishing his kill, just thinking that he was already dead. Sharik's going to be taken down, and more importantly, the diffuser's going to be put down cold on the ground. June manages to find Black Ray 5 versus 1, and they are staring down the barrel of a flawless round here as Cyclops going against them. They're trying to get something. Cyreneco's just trying to find somebody challenged. He does at least prevent that, picking up the kill onto June, but with 28 seconds left to go and the diffuser down cold outside of the wall, very unlikely that he gets anything using the intel that he's got. But even with the opportunity, Des, even with the knowledge that the player was there, he still can't find Virtue, who hits his shots up through the reverse angle on the vertical, and Secret go 2-0, and it is looking like a very bad day at the office for Cyclops.
The silver lining, though, Tim, is Cyclops are at least consistent. Consistent in keeping their kills per round below 2. They've got 3 kills.
Consistently bad at the minute.
Your words, not mine, Tim. I didn't say that. That's not. You've really got to check your toxicity, man. There's a problem here. God, you're always like this.
Said you to me. Goodness me.
Hang on a minute.
Good heavens. Good heavens.
Calling me toxic feels like a stretch.
Look, it's the reality.
I'm just stating facts, Tim.
Cyclops have been good over the last few days. They've been good through the group stages so far.
I really wanted you to go then. Cyclops have been good, pause, over the last few days.
They have. They've been good over the last few days. They've got a map off phase, got a good win against Furia. It's tailed off. And the honest answer is they are not playing at that same level today. That's the reality of it. So, unfortunately, yeah, they've been kind of bad today. Secret, 2-0, and they're getting the job done. Like I say, you play what's in front of you, and they're doing a good job of that. They're making life very difficult for Cyclops. Every single gunfight, they are winning. Cyclops are missing shots. Like, Virtue should never have got that kill up through the floor then, in reality.
No.
Shirineko had the information of where he was. He opens the ceiling above him, takes the first shots. He just didn't land them, is the reality of it. And, yeah, it's a tough pill for Cyclops to swallow. You know, I'm sure it's a hard watch for the fans, but at the minute, Secret are just well on top of this.
Yeah, it's hard to see how they get slowed down either. We get to this third round win on their side. Attack timeout for CAG surely comes in. There's something they can do. What bothers me more than anything though, Tim, is like, you know that you've got to win a single map to get it done. You've played really well all week. You've brought down a map away from FaZe. You've got to win against Fury, the reigning world champions. It's like, wow, you're really onto something special. That should be motivation to carry you through the last day of getting even a map. But it just feels like they're kind of whimpering out here with so much to fight. It's sad to see.
I always say it, every team has a bad day at a tournament. It's just about getting it on the right day. Cyclops, unfortunately, seem to have that bad day on the very wrong day. This is when they needed to be able to turn up. Like I said, every team is going to turn up at some point. It is so rare that a team goes through an entire tournament just winning every single game and doesn't have a wobble at any point. You just hope that it doesn't come on semi-final day or on group stage decision day. It's just how it is, but unfortunately it is at the minute. But 5 versus 4 as Secret have managed to pick up another entry, and most importantly it's the Thermite that has gone, so they're limited to the breaching of the ace. They might have wanted more. Here we go. Cyclops are starting to find a bit of joy. Shurik manages to find 2. Anaton in on the action as well. 4 versus 2 now. They're in a position to potentially come through and get around, stop the rot, prevent that back-to-back-to-back wins that Secret have been getting in these rounds.
Shrews on the F2, Tim. Been a while. Not so used to seeing the DMR these days because of things like the keeper barriers being played, but who cares? Shreep is absolutely fried out there. 2 kills from Zelf, both headshots as well in a good spot. Now they know the push is coming on through. Will he take any more victims with him? No! Virtue's going to find his man. Surely, Tim, we don't bottle a 4v2, right?
Right! Cyclops have got to win this round from here. Anaton manages to pick up Virtue. It's all up to Savage. Top rated so far coming into the day for Secret. Nitro goes out just a little bit slow on pulling the trigger. Doesn't quite find his man. He's up against 3. Just needs to try and find these one at a time. Does manage to land some shots onto Anaton, but the diffuser's going down and will be confirmed just to up the difficulty level for Savage. If he needed it at all. Looking to go in with the shot. They're above, they're in front, they're at distance. There's no way that Savage wins this, I don't think.
There's no way he gets through the door, I don't think, at this point, Tim. It is a good crossfire they've got held on here as well. Not a lot to give to the other side. Shirineko taking a lick of damage from something on the way through there as well, but the angles are being held. There's only, 15 seconds to go. Better from CAG off the back of Shurip's early 2K.
Yep, no way that Savage gets that one done. Cyclops getting themselves around. Can that be a foundation? Can they start building from there? Secret fans, of course, are going to be hoping that that is not the case, but they need something. They need a spark to fire them up into this one, and surely that could be it. We do have Cyclops timeout as well. That might not be a bad shout. We've got the round. We've stopped the rot. What was working? How do we continue and carry that forward?
I've heard this tap timeout got called actually quite early on in the last round as well. Knew they were going to have it for after round 3, so it wasn't so much dependent on the outcome of that round just now. They've managed to get over the line. The way they played the end of the round, I think, goes to show that skill and capability is there. We know that they can play like this. It's just taken a lot of time for it to come out and start showing itself when it may already start becoming a little bit too late. It is only that first quarter. They've already lost the whole map, though. There's a lot of comeback work to do here on Nighthaven Labs.
The thing is with Nighthaven as well, Cyclops have yet to defend on Nighthaven, and I know Secret are doing pretty well with defending so far on this map, but it's not always, at least to my mind, for, you know, when I think about all the rounds and rounds and rounds I've watched on Nighthaven, it's not always the easiest map to defend. I've spoken about top floor already and how it can be difficult because you don't really have much of a presence in the map to use to stretch the attackers. They get plenty of opportunity to get in towards it quickly. It's the same with the storage site as well. You can get in through the window, plant in behind the pillar. You don't necessarily need to control an awful lot of the map. So it can be difficult from the defender's point of view because trying to, you know, set problems for the attackers and waste time is not always the easiest thing to do on Nighthaven. So Cyclops need a good half here because it might not be plain sailing even when they get onto the defense of their own map.
That's the problem. You never know what kind of like Secret's got prepped. They'll have seen the defenses you've rolled out across those 4 times. They've got the work ready. It could all go very, very sour. Let's see how things go after attack timeout, Tim. A little bit of positivity for the boys. They've had that time again to have a conversation and get some things ironed out. Anaton is back on the Monty. He's old faithful. When things start going south, generally you can always rely on him to work a little bit of magic. They've got the Glaz in tow with 6 smokes being brought along in this lineup. If that don't indicate a Monty plan while the Glaz pops everyone off behind those 6 smokes, and I don't know what the hell does.
We've already got connector wall opened by the Thermite of Sharif, so that's going to give a little bit of access there. We saw an absolutely beautiful hold of connector from BDS earlier. Pull the trigger! Unfortunately, of course, they don't get to see through the barricades like we do. They will never know sometimes how close they came. Just does see the head there, takes a couple of shots, can't quite land them. It was interesting that time that Doki cast with us back in Manchester because he was quite excited by the silhouettes and watching the game like that, wasn't he?
He was,
He was like, I've no idea how you're always this close to each other.
To be fair, it would have been far more suggestive if he was familiar, like, oh yeah, I've seen this sort of thing before.
It'd been worrying.
You got lines on Doki, what's going on there?
No, so he was very surprised by it. He was watching, he was like, I'd never realised how close like we often come to each other without realising it. And without having any idea. 3 kills come in for Team Secret then, getting them a huge advantage. They've taken the Monty down, they've taken the Glaz down. This is another round that is looking like it's probably going to pass Cyclops by. Black Ray manages to get something going, but takes an awful lot of damage along the way doing so. That leaves him in a difficult position now. 1 bullet is likely going to be the end of his round. So 2 versus 4 as Team Secret start to dig in.
Yeah, a lot needs to go right here for Black Crate and Shirineko to walk away with the round win. It's looking more and more unlikely that every second that passes by, that clock becomes the 6th man for the defenders. Because you get forced to make a bunch of errors. You can't drone everything a million times over. You can't take your time to make sure there's a perfect crossfire being set up. Sometimes you've just got to go. And there is a minute left, so a lot of time until we get to that point. But it will disappear before CAG know it.
Just trying to work from lower warehouse here is Shirineko. He will join Black Ray up at the top of the catwalk, but they're not going to be given anything easily as Doom is watching that angle. Black Ray dips away and says, you know what, I don't want any part of that on my low health. He's going to rotate himself around. I don't know whether he's maybe going to head for Aqua Stairs. I think it's just have another chat. Yeah, I think at this point he knows he's not going to win the round in the 1v4, so we'll just have a little chat. They've already had the tactical timeout. I don't really know what much more is going to be said that's going to massively change things up here for Cyclops. You know, do you want the honest answer?
Hey, Tim, look, it's you.
It is. If you want the honest answer is start winning some gunfights.
That and so much more, Tim.
I don't think strategically,
that and so much more.
I don't think strategically they're necessarily doing a lot wrong. Like, they're opening connector wall. They didn't, well, to be fair, actually, maybe they are. They opened connector wall. They didn't really apply much pressure from there, but they did lose a couple of bodies over that side of thing. But they didn't push catwalk at the same time. Maybe they weren't quite in sync enough. But they're attacking from multiple angles a lot of the time. They are trying to clear the problems in front of them, but they're just losing almost every gunfight. Secret have just been quicker on the draw. Simple as that.
Yeah. And it's kind of a shame because, as we said earlier on today, like, all the games on the B stream are so hyped today. Those first 2 were all about battling for does PSG make it or not, and they won in the first one. They narrowly missed out because of how the result of the second one went. This one was a battle for who stays and who goes home, with CAG only needing a single map, and then that rematch from the grand finals of SI last year as our last game on the B stream here. It was all laid out to be an amazing day of Siege.
And it has been.
And I feel it has been, yeah. But I feel like Cyclops are now letting us down a little bit in the middle.
But look at
they're giving us a welcome reprieve.
You've got a feel for the region as well. You know, and by that I mean we've had PSG Talon from Korea earlier. We've got Cyclops from Japan now. And just look at the reality of their situation and how competitive this SI. I think, as a slight aside, I think this is the most competitive SI we've ever had.
Agreed.
When you look at the teams that could win it and the sheer volume, there's at least probably 10 teams coming in that you could look at and say are potential winners. But look at the reality of this. PSG Talon have beaten Dark Zero and BDS in their group, and it's not enough.
Yeah.
They've gone home. Cyclops have beaten Furia and took a map off FaZe, and it's not enough. It looks like they might go home. It's not over yet. They could turn it around. They only need this map to go through. But by the end of the day, there could be a situation where those two things are a reality. And that is super harsh for, you know, for all that to come from the same, from the APAC region as well. Like, that's hard. That is harsh.
It's been a very tight group for PSG. Talon is the real battle, and it's led to some debate naturally about the point systems as well. But I think no point system is perfect. There is always winners and losers in any given situation. God forbid Brazil get wrong by a point system at some point. Tim, I remember the events of a couple of years ago. I'll talk about it. I ain't scared, Tim. But that was all over Twitter for a good while as well. So why not have a conversation about it at the same time? However, it does mean that those that are awarded that can get a lot of 2-0s are the ones that make it through, and those that can't are the ones that end up missing out.
Is the reality.
It is. And I remember speaking to a bunch of teams before, and they all came in saying, like, it feels like the most even, one, meta, because a lot of play styles work, and two, team-wise, it's really hard to call who walks away the winner. The usual names like EDS and FaZe were the most common, of course, but with how those two teams have played so far, is it a bygone conclusion that they will win the event? Absolutely not.
Well, that's what it screams to me. If you're able to beat Furia, take a map off FaZe, but there's every team around you is still collecting more points in that group, it's just super competitive because those teams are obviously taking points off you, off those other big names, you know, and everybody is competing with everybody. So many of these groups have been so close. We're just going to have a little bit of a reprieve for Cyclops as the minute, as they manage to get themselves 5 versus 3. 50 seconds left to go. Need to make sure that they don't run out of time. We can see the blitz of Anaton all the way down underneath us, just trying to have a little walk in. Doom's going to have a bit of a tough job from here. He's trying to defend across two, I was going to say across 2 floors. He gets the kill 1 floor below him. 4 versus 2. Diffuser's going to go down. I don't think there's really very much Secret can stop this plan.
No, at the minute there's not without getting a kill onto Maverick, who's just peeking his head through those holes in the main breach. I love it. But yes, Virtue got a lot to achieve here by himself. Almost gets rid of Anaton, but with the worst gun in the game, there's only so much damage you can do to them little feet of his. The CAG are going to get themselves a second round. It's 2-3. So still not quite the... Are you happy with 2 attacking rounds on Nighthaven?
I don't think 2's the... check the numbers, Des. I would say I don't think 2's the end of the world. I would much prefer 3 to give me a little bit of wiggle room on the defence.
Just tell me the sky's blue, Tim.
Well, I'd prefer 6. 2's not bad. I'd prefer 6. No, like, genuinely, a lot of the time in maps we will say 2-4's your minimum. It's fine. For me, I feel like the stats may or may not back me. We'll find out now as you're having a look. I think 3-3 is the minimum for attack on Nighthaven.
You've got like little groups of the maps, to be fair. You've got our top 3 defensive maps, all 60% or higher. Consulate, Cafe, and Bank. Seeing Bank there somewhat surprised me. In the middle, you've then got Club, Lair, Skyscraper, and Nighthaven, all sitting between 53 and 55% defender win rate.
Yeah.
Chalet at 50%, and then Border, as you'd expect, is down there at 47% defender win rate.
There we go.
It's in the middle of the pack.
At that, you're kind of saying defenders are going to win more often than not, probably the 4 rounds. So if you can get 3 as an attacker, you then get your 4 on defense, and you win in regulation. So, you know, realistically, 2 is acceptable. 3, I would say, is a good aim.
If they get 3 here, Tim, then you actually start to feel a bit nervous for Secret.
And it's doable. Absolutely doable.
I think it's pretty fair to say the first 3 or 4 rounds have been literally a bit like, oh, CAG have barely played up here, but the fact they've now got 2 in that last round, the last round most critically, Tim, wasn't down to a magical 1v3 clutch. Nor was it down to a massive mess up on Secret's side. It was really off the back of Cyclops, which is what I'm excited about. If they can keep on building on this, suddenly we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to open up Warehouse to kick things off. The Maverick will then be working on IT wall. And this is, I like to see this. Good bit of teamwork. Black Ray just peeking just peeking underneath there to make sure that they weren't going to be challenged on IT wall immediately. See if he can pick up a little freebie, a little cheap shot onto somebody. Didn't manage, but it just shows, again, good attention to detail. We are going to have that wall opened up. We'll burn a quick access point in, and this is good. IT wall, double wall dealt with. You start opening up access to that plant spot behind the pillar, because now it's very difficult for Team Secret to defend that from above or below.
I was going to say that circle with the Maverick was far cleaner than when I get asked with a piece of paper to draw a circle. It ends up looking like an egg or something like that. Nice and clean and quick. gives them entry in towards the building. Half the round now gone by, and no one has gone down too early on from CAG, which for me is the key part of this. First call coming out from the Dokkaebi, and Anderson starts his march on forward under the cover of those phone calls, helping him hunt down these targets. There are 2 or 3 here scattered across this ground floor they're going to have to deal with. Most importantly, though, Tim, there are 2 upstairs that need to be dealt with. So I'm kind of surprised Anderson hasn't started out up there to help his team get the vertical control they need before they can even think about getting that diffuser down.
Just holding the vertical line above IT there on the upside down rappel, just again preventing anybody from getting on in and making a nuisance of themselves for when it comes towards planting time.
Okay.
Not sure
What on earth?
I don't know what's
happened to that IT wall?
Not really sure what's gone on there.
I don't think you can get through it, but there's a nice little slice in it, look. Interesting. It'll be where the metals at the bottom hasn't been burned away, so it's not going to get destroyed or anything. They haven't fully... That's just weird.
It was an exothermic charge that went on it.
Maybe it's a visual bug for observer side, I don't know.
He does seem to be... No, I don't know. Anderson manages to get one with the shield, starting things off on the blitz. Virtue is there for a nitro onto Black Ray. 28 seconds. Cyclops have spent a lot of time not doing too much. That's the problem. Virtue manages to drop Anderson, and more importantly, the case. This is going to be difficult for Cyclops to recover here. 2 versus 3 effectively. Shuri manages a little backstab. 1 versus 3. Here comes Groovy.
And because the plant's going down, they've got a bit of time to get his teammate up. Groovy and Savage together. Now to face off with no time to go, but the chance for a 2v1 is over. Back into a 2v2, and they're outside the map, Tim. This is going to be tough for Secret.
If Cyclops are smart here, they could actually drop down and hold this from underneath. Secret have got on the diffuser, but it's too easy to swing across. Manages to pick it up. As I said, there was an option potentially to get underneath, and because they'd already opened the double wall, so they could have gone in and held it from below, but they didn't need to ultimately. Cyclops managed to level it up. They get the 3 attacks that I was talking about. That gives them a real opportunity here. This one hangs in the balance. Team Secret fans, they were sat comfortably at home, Des. They were watching this. They were enjoying it. I think they're going to be sweating a little bit now, because as we've said, the defender win rate for Nighthaven sits at about 55%. So coming in here, there's a real possibility, following those stats, following those trends, that Cyclops could pick up the 4 rounds they need to get this map, take us to 3, and Secret would be going home.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of G2 versus Joel the other day, when G2 started to get a little bit too complacent, were having a bit too much fun, and they started bleeding rounds away. Thing is, G2 did eventually get it back on track and get the job done. The Secret, I'm a little bit concerned here that you've had 4 rounds that have felt very easy, a little bit slow. You haven't really had to work hard for it. And then CAG have suddenly turned it on. Those last 2 attacking rounds have got themselves 3 in total. And now Secret have actually got their work cut out for them. What looked to be, at least based on map 1, a very easy 2-0 for Secret to get themselves into phase 2, might be starting to slip away here. So keep a very close eye on how these first couple of rounds go. We could be seeing a very despairing Secret on our screens in just a few rounds' time.
Yeah, we could be. It's, I think, important that Secret start picking some attacks up quite quickly. We don't want to leave this too late. It could be serious trouble if they do. Straight up to the rooftop they go, attacking onto top floor. Let's see where they approach. Connector wall is going to be open. I want to see them leaving somebody over there. Not quite getting the line aside. Yes. Ooh, not an easy one to watch. You're talking about single pixels changing colour there, but Black Ray's going to take a bit of damage, so needs to be a bit more cautious for the rest of the round. But yes, I'd like to see Secret leave somebody over on this connector side.
Oh no, he nearly did.
Too late. Adrian catches out Anderson on the bandit. Go in for the late trick, and that gives Secret those multiple access points now. They can watch through IT. Nobody can play inside of there. Catwalk needs to be more careful. Connector is open. Pressure is mounting inside of sight for these defenders.
Paladin hadn't been so greedy in trying to keep the IT wall locked up.
Hero play, innit?
It literally is.
If he gets it done, then we sat here saying, yeah, you know, great risk.
But you know, and it's through experience, like 99% of the time, you are not getting away with the double bandit trick. No, so I'm not quite sure what he was aiming for there. Like, maybe he was hoping Secret are backed away, and therefore it's worth the gamble, but they were there to punish. That's the most important part. It's 5 versus 4, though. Should then lean towards Secret. In comes an easy step, and like they've just vaulted straight into him. Black Ray had no idea that one was coming. Doom's inside of sight, Tim, and I don't think CAG entirely realise what's going on. They've lost more. Plant's going down. 2 left standing.
See him.
And it could all be collapsing here as well. A bit too late on this smoke, I'm afraid. It doesn't matter if Groovy starts inhaling some smoke because that diffuser is getting stuck. And it's an easy first round for Secret.
Yeah, that's a concern for Cyclops there. We said how they'd got better over the last few attacks, and they definitely were. They were looking more like the team that had been playing over the rest of the week, but then that was pretty weak on defense. Secret, again, a good attack, got connector open quickly, got IT open quickly, applied pressure from both points, straight in, took the opportunity to get into sight. Once they've claimed that, you're going to plant on pillar. Very decisive, very, very focused on what they wanted to achieve, and very good at getting sight control. So Secret, they put themselves ahead again, 4-3.
That's a concern for me, Tim, is that was a very good attack. CAG really offering nothing. And just as we were getting a bit excited about the potential of them fighting back, they give us a round like that. Hopefully it's a one-off. We see them bounce back better here in round 8. Down in the basement we go. One of those sites that normally command that there is at least a bit of roaming. Even if around vending itself, that can be enough. Just pick away a few drones. Keep the attackers busy. Slow them down. You give them full agency to take control of that first floor, they will, Tim, and those verticals will just start working against you far too early in the round for you to be able to do anything about it. Savage once again flipping back over to playing on the Blitz as well. Why not? Spoke about him and Anaton, the 2 IGLs for these teams. Love playing on these shield operators.
Just going to be dropping down to get that wall open immediately by the looks of things. Virtue on the thermite. Oh, an interesting mirror here. Just going to give them a little bit of intel towards when they come in to try and breach that wall. Looks like they've gone for Animus first potentially, but
it's a great read because there's no Maverick on side. The only hard breach they've brought along is the thermite here. You put that on the wall, you shoot out the mirror window, it destroys the exothermic. So, not a bad shout. It will force them to go deep and go past. If you shoot the mirror window out then, they can't get away in time, Tim, is the thing. So it's quite a smart placement for it. Whether or not that's how CAG intend to use it, I don't know. Okay, maybe not. Just shoot it out nice and early. Not quite sure why that'd be done so soon, but as you say, Tim, Animus was the starting point for them. That has now been opened up. And Secret, let us go in hell for Leonardson. They've gone straight in. Savages fell down nice and early. Trade back at least one way or the other. Pokeball onto Savage, actually. And CAG have now got the numbers advantage, Tim. They've staved off the Secret aggression for now. But the problem is, Tim, they're inside of sight and not in a bad position to keep on capitalising.
Yeah, Virtue could possibly plant here. I think he's looking to transfer across. June gets taken down, Virtue at the same time. And yeah, it's not really worked out for Secret, hasn't that one?
He C4'd the wall there and it killed him, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Just came down the bottom of Cargo, chucked it on the wall, blew the player up. Job's a good one. Ruby left all by himself. And sure enough, CAG hold on pretty well from what could have been a pretty scary rush coming out from Team Secret.
Yeah, it's just not really panned out for them. If a couple of kills go the other way, they would have had full control of Pillar, for example. They could have planted just outside of Animus Door. They'd have had a number of options, but it's just not how it's played out for them. I'd like to have seen Secret maybe, even with that mirror window, you can take the opportunity to have a dash past that, get the wall open, and sort of see what happens. As soon as that wall starts opening, they're not going to be too keen to challenge it, and I think you probably get away with a bit of safety there. But a good defense from Cyclops nonetheless. They've read into it, they've known exactly what was coming, they've shut it down. That's all that you can really ask of them, and they've won their gunfights. That's more important for Cyclops, is the number of gunfights that they're winning at the minute. And if anything, getting to this point, and we're probably going to go 4-4 now, it's really the perfect point as, you know, neutral spectators for this one to level up, because this is the map that matters. This is the map where it's all decided now. Either Secret go through or Cyclops go through. Whoever wins this map, it's theirs. So, you know, for this to be the point where it gets close is the most exciting, really.
Lots of good people in chat are a little bit confused still about the win conditions here for either team. Secret, they win this map, they make it, they stay. If CAG win, they stay and Secret goes home. Literally is basically it's the best of one playing out before you, in which both teams are at 4 apiece. Both teams 3 rounds away from keeping themselves a spot here and going into phase 2 and sending the other team home. It really is that close.
The vibes are up still for Cyclops, despite having been beaten up a little bit so far today, particularly on that first map. Much more competitive here on Nighthaven Labs. It's the old classic Siege story of teams just locking down their own maps and looking towards that third. But Cyclops have still got some work to do before they can confirm that. We're going to move into round 9. Going to be up onto the top floor again that Cyclops try to hold on.
If they can, then it'll be a way to another step towards it. As I said, 3, it's Imagine 3 little bright pips on your screen. That's all they've got to fill in here, and they've made it. All it comes down to, unless, of course, we get to 6-6, and then we're overtime abound. Feels like, given the stakes of the game, overtime is what it deserves, Tim, but based on how it's played out so far, you'd imagine Secret would be able to just push on and get this one done, but I ain't so convinced given CAG managed to get those 3 attacking rounds back in the first half. That came seemingly out of nowhere.
As I said, Cyclops, I'm sure both of these teams would love to spoil the other's party. The Ying is picked away. Virtue was originally... Oh no, Adrian's going to bring it along instead. Virtue was originally on the Ying. They're just going to switch that around so they can put Savage on the Monty. Virtue's going to bring the Thermite. That's likely going to be used to open the connector wall, I would have thought. Potentially IT as well. We do have the hard breach on Monty, so either or could be done by the shield. They just want to get something going on for both of those walls to prevent Cyclops being able to hold any of those areas too securely.
I've got the EMPs on side along with the Thermite, of course, so it should be no bother getting these walls opened up. You are against the Kaid. His gadget deploys pretty damn slowly. So both looking in towards connector, but also, of course, onto IT. Both should get opened up with no bother at all. All eyes fall onto Savage then on the Monty. Not on the Blitz this time, but Monty... Oh, clearly, by the way, that his name means mountain, is designed to be quite difficult to bring down to. Whereas the Bandit, you can shoot at his feet. Same sort of story with the Blackbeard. The thing in marching forward here will be what they try and get the planting behind. Very much the tip of the spear for this attack.
Yep, they get that connector wall open, so that's going to give them an opportunity now to potentially push in and take a little bit of ground. IT wall done as well, so Secret have got themselves off to a good start. They've opened those 2 up. Last time they were able to kind of just walk on into sight and put the diffuser down. I don't think Cyclops are going to allow them to get away with that again. That mounted from connector last time. That was where their point of ingress was, but... this time, just all a little bit slower. Blackbeard is playing a little bit more aggressively up into electrical here. That's going to prevent them taking aggressive possession over connector. And we can see Secret haven't gone in there yet. It seems to be shaping up more towards IT. I think a bit of movement out towards maybe Aqua and Warehouse. Maybe get into Catwalk, try and push from there. That's where the Monty's coming up. They're going to try and bullet Sharif out of position.
They definitely can't push on towards the window here that looks down towards, or looks out towards Aqua. Not with the Monty in his face. Hadrian finding Shivasu. So unfortunately, June's gone down elsewhere, so not the end of the world losing the Flores. A lot of the work has been done by those Roteros already, but it has brought things, Tim, into a 3 versus 3. Sure enough on his backside, but is recoverable, given he's tucked in.
The big problem here at the minute is Savage is kind of alone on the Monty, trying to get something going on the warehouse. You've got this bouncing about with the shield up and down, but Anaton and Shurip have gone big. They've found one apiece. Savage can finish off onto Shiraneko, but a 1 versus 3 on a Monty. That's going to be a big ask. Anaton manages to find a Nitro, and Cyclops is screaming again. Cyclops are celebrating because they've got themselves ahead, and they are just 2 rounds away nowadays from pushing themselves on to the next phase of Six Invitational 2025. And despite having the run of this game so far, Team Secret have to take that tactical timeout because right now their tournament hangs in the balance.
I'm just absolutely here for Shurip's energy, by the way. He's going absolutely bonkers at the end there, grabbing Anaton.
Imagine
honestly,
if they win.
I mean, Anaton's the kind of guy I'd imagine the one be going more bonkers than anyone else, but Shurip's really injecting some energy in there between these rounds and keeping the team on the bounce. Secret, very understandably here, aware they are just 2 rounds away from being knocked out, from being sent packing. Crazy to think when some people had these guys being one of their top 3 teams come the end of the competition. Might be falling a little bit shy of expectations, not just for themselves, but for what many others held over them as well. For round 10, we're heading onto that first floor. Control and storage is going to be the site we play into. I hope to God Secret have got something up their sleeve here, Tim, because it's starting to look a bit worrying for the EU side.
Just a couple more rounds. We'll see Cyclops progress. You can see what it means. Look, they know how close they are. They can feel it now. They'll know that they've turned up and not really played their best siege. But I'm sure they came in probably focused on this map particularly. If that's the one they've chosen, that's the one. That's their battleground. That's where they know that they're looking to lock it down, needing only one map. Anaton just going to take a few pot shots out of the warehouse wall. I don't think it'll benefit them too much. You usually do that so you can hear what's going on the other side better. You can hear when explosives like the exothermic are being placed on there, that sort of thing. But they're not really going to be playing for the trick on there, so they're not really going to get too much from it, I don't think. Probably more out of habit than anything.
That's the gear for CAG. If they make this, of course, it'll be the only APAC team making it through
exactly
to our next
that.
phase.
Representing a region as well. That's sometimes, you know, that can be a bit of added pressure on your back as well.
Given Scars completely bottled it. And PSG Talon fell out in, I suppose, real unfortunate circumstances earlier. Falcons denying that spot away from them by getting a map in their series against Raza Company. Wouldn't be a bad spot for Japan to be in that next phase. Take a lot of APAC hopes with them.
I said that earlier, but Anaton is stood on that warehouse wall and he is tricking. He's not going to give him anything easily. He's stood there just taking the electrical on and off there. We're going to get the wall breached underneath. It's going to be much the same as we saw previously. That should deal with it, given that it's an electrical that they're working against. So that's going to be the warehouse wall open. They've got the wall open underneath as well. So they're starting again to soften up that plant spot at the backside of Pillar. You get IT wall, you get double wall underneath, you get warehouse wall, and then you can start thinking about a potential plant.
Been quite frugal by Doom, having used one EMP on each wall. Normally you double stack them in case someone is trying to trick them, but here have largely not bothered, and there we go. There's the next one coming out. Not going to be able to keep this one, I imagine.
No.
In fact, have got away with it. Did he go for like a brief second there? What happened?
I know the wall didn't open.
Yeah, I didn't quite see how. I just know that it's not open.
It was a trick. It was a trick.
It must have been like a very fine
I think
margin.
the electrical has just activated in time and taken the exothermic off, but one way or another, that's really good for Cyclops, because that's going to give them the vertical above Pillar, and that is where Secret would want to go in and plant. Sireneko manages to get Adrian, and Team Secret seem to be crumbling. Anaton with a nitro onto Savage. Cyclops are doing it for APAC, Des, and they're doing it for themselves here. 5 versus 3 they find themselves now, and this is the round that will push them forward on to a match point. Grube, he goes in, tries to take a bit of ground. That at least gives them the knowledge there's nobody inside of IT, but with only 3 on side, it's going to be very difficult for Secret to go in and confidently plant behind the Pillar.
I really love how they've approached this round as well, CAG, because IT couldn't be opened up, and I guess they assumed that might be the case. They've kept it locked up tight. They've played it like they're defending top floor. 3 players up there for most of the round, playing the verticals, denying it away from Secret. And Secret have failed to break this top floor hold. And they're going to have to gamble everything on an execute here? There's no one inside of IT. They've got what they need because Virtue's around that position. They might actually be able to get away with this, Tim, unless someone comes below. Black Ray's on his way, but is he too late?
I think he is going to be. That is confirmed. He gets in there and starts spraying, but
cannot
find his man. He takes him out on the way out, though. Anaton finds the kill, and it's all up to Doom to hold on. Somebody who's had some big moments. He knows that they're on. The Kiva Barricade has won the round for Cyclops, and they move on to match point.
Oh, Shurif absolutely loves it. I love seeing him get so excited about it. We're not there yet, boys. One more round. And CAG breaks Secret Hearts.
This is going to go off if they win this round. They know what it means. They know that it sends them through to phase 2, albeit into the lower bracket. It means they go to those knockout games and, you know, represent themselves. They've had some good results, like we said, against Furia, a map off phase.
What's Shurif here?
They are desperate to get through.
He just makes eye contact with Anaton. He's like, headsets off. I'm in. Excellent stuff. Well, whatever happened to him after those first 4 rounds where it looked like CAG were barely up to bat, they have absolutely flown across the second half of this map, and Secret, head in hands, are probably now wondering where the hell did it all go wrong. It was actually around this point when we were at a Secret advantage that Cyclops then went on to win 2 rounds to bring us to a 3-3 half. Secret now need to undo the same to their Japanese rivals if they want to send this to overtime. And even then, that's still not enough. They've got to go and do it in overtime, Tim, if they still want a chance of being here come Sunday's games.
I don't know if Secret have got the resilience here, Des. They've been battered over the last couple of rounds, for want of a better word, by Cyclops. They're well on top of it, and Secret know that their tournament is about to be over if they don't win these next 2. That is tough to take. They've had a really rough few days, not able to get wins that I'm sure they will have felt that they could. And right now, it all comes down to this. Chibisu, he's thinking about the peak. He takes a little look. Him and Adrian just exchange a few bullets, but no damage. However, Savage does manage to take down Black Ray, and maybe that is the start of Secret just holding on for one more round, Des.
This is what Secret have got to do, though, is just play really tight. Don't play so loose where you're running around trying to collect 1v1s. The way they played upstairs then with the IQ of Doom and Savage pushing in together on the blitz was great because they managed to get that pinch onto Blackray. They punished him for being out there all by himself. They've still got the phone call available as well from the Dokkaebi. They'll have a second online in about 10 seconds. They've got the tools to get it done, but they've got to play with so much discipline for these next 2 rounds.
Sharik's just going to be holding this very common position that we see. We see Palu in that position quite a lot, just on the stairs, playing sort of half up, half down, ready to challenge if anybody pushes in that direction. Anaton, Nitro in hand. We've already seen him be deadly with it so far. Sharik manages to find the first of 5 that will send Cyclops into phase 2, taking down Grubby. 4 versus 4 now. They're on the cams. Savage is coming. Can they stop him? He's looking to get aggressive on the blitz, but something just holds him up. He doesn't push forward. June manages to find Sharif, and this is great. They're just pushing them around into each other's lines of sight. Great teamwork from Secret.
Exactly that. Again, they've punished as a team and have capitalized by taking down. And remember, both Blackray and Sharif fell in very similar fashion. It's good from Secret. It's coordinated. They've now got about 60 seconds left to make this work. Can CAG spring another surprise? And then there's a C4 in back pocket. A couple of impacts if they'll help deal with Savage. The verticals, for now, are still in Adrian's control. No one trying to flank onto him. They've got this. You can see the yellow pings coming out as well, Tim. They know where most of these players are. I don't think if they know about Chibishu, though. He could do a lot of damage. In fact, no. They knew that he was there. Adrian's not going to find his man. He's now in a spot to play spoiler, Tim.
Adrian really needs to be winning that fight. That is a tough break for Team Secret, like you say, with Chibisu up above. Doom can maybe do something about that. The problem is Team Secret don't have all the time in the world, Des. They've got 20 seconds, and Chibisu is looking to move across and play spoiler. He takes him down. Doom manages to drop, but it's not going to matter. They can't pick him up at this point. Anaton manages to find Savage. It's all up to Virtue. He's got 10 seconds. He's nowhere near sight. He doesn't have the diffuser. Surely this is the moment that Cyclops will confirm themselves for phase 2. There's one more map to play, Des, but they know what that one means.
They have made it by taking enough away from Secret to secure their spot and send Secret home. How did that round slip away from Secret? I don't really know, Tim. They were in a 5v3. They played the first 2 minutes so well. But you make one mistake. You let Chibisu slip the net, and he absolutely deletes them in the back line. Wonderful stuff, and yet the series is still going to play out, Tim. But CAG have broken Secret hearts.
Massive result for Cyclops there. They've earned it with the way they dug deep. They got pushed around 7-1 on that first map. It looked like Nighthaven was going in the same direction, but Cyclops, they dug deep, they managed to find something, and they came back at them and got what they needed. Secret, we've seen it so many times, not from them, but from everybody. You get to that point, that breaking point, and they just couldn't find the answer.
Well, Secret have got to pick themselves up out of a puddle here. We'll go to a quick break. When we come back, map 3 awaits.
Back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back.
It's about time.
One more song. You choose.
I've got just the one.
And now with 24 seconds left to go, Loira has to make a deep rotation, finding one though on the J, what a shot, and this is why he's the demon. Loira finding three!
Low HP bodies on each respective side. Uno is getting aggressive, that's the presser show. It might help you out a little bit, but oh my god! Good for one here, and should be onto Boa. Getting that plant down, Alan out to the bottom, to the yellow pig as well! It's for Alan!
The Psycho kill as well, they're just pushing for the fight, he's on the back end! But one versus one with a
Excellent patience here from CAG. Shuri holding it down, taking some damage. Flaz sticking the plant, not falling off. He commits, and Shuri gets the down. Go to, so why not? Oh!
And if the overextension comes in from Lender, he might get a chance. Can he hit his shots? Yes! Lands the first, hits the second.
Do not die. Don't give them the 1v1. Oh, what have you done? You've died. C4 goes in.
Do at this point. Can converge on his position. He's got to be ready for this. The ace has got a whip. He somehow does. Can finish this. Surely land the C4.
But shut down now by Newers. Wary about these frost mats that could be sitting under the windows as well as this angle below Chip.
Might have been concerned coming out of Consulate, but it was all a ruse. Cyclops coming out in fine fashion after the first 4 very slow rounds of Labs. Passed them by, they turned on the accelerator, and they breezed their way past Secret to secure their spot in the next stage of SI 25. And the Secret team, commiserations, they are going home, but there's one more map still to play.
There is one more map to play, and we'll see, whether maybe Secret can at least give their fans a parting gift and come out with a nice win and send a message back to Cyclops, I guess. But ultimately, Cyclops have got what they wanted. And at the end of the day, it's not, I can't say that it's not nice to have some APAC representation going through into Phase 2 as well. We're going to see APAC there in those knockout stages. Cyclops will be the ones representing them, and it's been a real turnaround against Team Secret today. Like I said, it hasn't all gone swimmingly. Team Secret won the first map convincingly and then even started Nighthaven really well. And Cyclops just didn't seem to switch on. They looked way out of their depth. But then out of nowhere, there was a tag timeout at 2-1 and they just turned it around.
He did, and a big show from Anderton especially, 14-5. The sort of performance we're used to from seeing from him. Blackray maybe a little bit less so. It's one of the stronger entries on that team. You expect to see him normally right up there. He was dealt with by Secret for most of that second half of the game, but clearly not well enough as the team have pushed their way through. The Secret team, I think we could talk about their performance all we like as well, but it's clear to say that a lot of things have fell by the wayside there. I think they started to show some really good teamwork towards the back end of Labs, but it was a bit too late when you're already only winning 3 defenses back in that first half. That's really what came back to cost them.
It is exactly that. Like we said, usually you defend a win rate on Labs. We discussed it at the time. I said, 3 attacks is perfect for Cyclops, really. That's got to be the target because normally we would expect defenders to be getting that 4-2 half, and they were able to do that. So we move on to Skyscraper. That will be our final map between these two. Means we get to cast it, Des. We haven't seen a Skyscraper yet.
That's true. I'm not quite sure on the quality of this Skyscraper, but it does tick the box.
Interestingly, Fresh has 1 site required left for his bingo card for us to have seen every single site at SI.
Bedroom, bathroom.
It's always bedroom, bathroom on Skyscraper that is the last one to go. But given the fact that, who knows, maybe it gets thrown in. We'll see.
Woo. All right. It is still kind of important for CAG to win this, by the way. I'm pretty sure
they're going to potentially go into a mini league with 1 or 2 teams. They could go on to 8 points alongside Shopify. If Furia lose 2-0, they'll stay on 8 points. So there could be 3 teams in there on 8 points. So round difference and things like that could well come into play.
Yes.
So yes, Cyclops really do need to be winning as well as they can do here.
They do, and if Furia lose that 2-0, there's other like tiebreakers that come in later.
Although, sorry, that being said, it won't make a difference because this is against Team Secret, who will be outside of the mini league.
That's a good point.
So it will.
It's the round difference side, isn't it?
It will only be the matches against Shopify and Furia. I think we'll get confirmation on that.
We will.
We don't make the rules. We don't calculate.
We
the
just follow
tables.
them.
We
talk about them.
We just like to talk about them and try and figure them out as we go. But we will get confirmation.
Quite heartbreaking seeing Secret on the cams, to be fair. You can see that they look real beat up about this. Like, being forced to play a map when... Every time I spoke to a player when they've been knocked out, I've been like, oh, you know, commiserations. Are you hanging around to see the rest of the tournament? And very regularly I hear is, I can't imagine anything worse than staying around to watch teams play where I should be playing. Yeah. They hate it. It's horrible. They'd rather get on the next flight home and be gone. And I can't imagine how bad it feels to now be made to sit here, to have to sit here and play a game as part of this best of 3 when you just want to kind of be like, we just go back to our room and get ready to go home. Like, you don't want to stick around for it.
It's a part of the job. It comes with the territory.
It does.
Ultimately, like you say, Team Secret, I think in terms of a tournament as a whole, you know, it's probably fair to say of anybody, or at least most teams who exit a tournament at the first stage. But I think for Team Secret, they're going to feel like this is, you know, below expectations for them. Coming into this, you know, the performances that they've shown us over the last few months, they will have been looking to do more than this.
You know what I think would know? It's Brabuni. He'd know. But I'm pretty sure he's asleep. I believe he's over in EU, so obviously now it's getting quite late. 12:15. I'd say quite late. Those are gamer hours, Tim.
Yeah.
Not for you.
It's quite late for us to be trying to do the mental maths on stream. So
it is.
I
have asked the question.
We'll let somebody.
I've asked the question so it can be figured out, and then we'll go from there. Thermite ban. Interesting.
Like we say, at this stage, it's still going to be a what if anyway, because it's going to depend on that Furia result as well.
Yes. Still a lot, of course, for CAG to fight for, as you said. It pulls their map difference up, which does make a difference too. When you get into the round, I think the order is round difference, then map difference, then it goes into a couple of other things, and a rematch if it really demands it at the end. But I'd be very surprised if a rematch is required at all. I would quite like to have a rest tomorrow, Tim. It has been 5 days of non-stop siege. It's been great fun. But I think our voices very sorely are going to need a rest before everything kicks off again on Sunday.
We'll be grateful of a day off, I think.
We will. And if you are wondering what the schedule is, of course, for Sunday as well, you can go to the R6 Esports website. You'll have a full schedule on there. I don't think all the matchups, of course, will be determined yet because we need to go through a phase where the teams pick out who plays who, but that requires all the games we finish first. Teams that finish in second place in their group get to pick a third place team from the other 3 groups. They can't pick a team they're in a group with already. And they then get to face off against them in the next round. The team in 4th place starts in the lower bracket, and the team in 1st, well, they get to skip that whole picking phase that I was speaking about a second ago and get a bye through to the next round of the upper bracket. So, quite a lot on the line still. We'll see how things shake up here. We're going to start things off on a classic karaoke and T defense. It's Secret on the defense and CAG on the attack.
Let's get into it then. Round 1 underway. Secret here to spoil the party if they can. Make life as difficult as possible for Cyclops. As we say, it won't have too much of any impact over the grand scheme of things, but it might just make them feel a little bit better if they can come out and get the win overall at least. But I don't know what would be worse, actually. Lose the map overall and go home, or win the map overall and go home.
Yeah.
But either way, that is going to be one of the 2 outcomes. Now then, we can see, just having a little look outside, Secret getting a little bit cheeky, see if they can see anybody early on. Cyclops are not going to give them anything that easily. Oh, they do spot the Malusi of Adrian underneath, though. They know that he's playing down in-house, so they could well go in here and just try to get a quick challenge onto him, take him down. He's going to move through to the closet window, but we've got to feel that Cyclops should be ready.
Should be. And Anaton, at least, is always ready, Tim. He's always ready and spring-loaded to go and fire off. Gets rid of Adrian, who has definitely had a rough series overall. A rough tournament, to be fair. When he first joined his team, Adrian was a real shining light. I know Fresh especially was backing him an awful lot. Maybe not quite had the performance here in Boston that many would have expected from him.
2 go down then. Grubby taken out as well. That's going to be the warden off the board. 5 versus 3 now as Cyclops go back to drone in. See exactly what setup they've got facing ahead of them. Twitch drone goes in, taking out some utility as well, pinging out those frost mats, just building this clear picture for them of exactly what they are going to be going into. So it is now time to start thinking about getting on inside of the map. Cyclops were at the halfway mark and they haven't done so as of yet. All working from the outside. Going to be a little bit of a rotation by the looks of things. And maybe a bit of pressure directly towards meeting or maybe bottom black stairs.
Sure, probably to head up black stairs, I'd expect.
Yeah.
It's either that or you take the balcony to get up there, right, in this case. You want someone to work their way up through black stairs, and Anderson is wasting no time. Straight in, charging forward. There's a track coming in as well from the Deimos. As your numbers start to thin, this operator's gadget only gets more and more potent. Aren't too many players or too many teammates that can support you, and the Deimos comes hunting. 2 stacks up on black stairs here. Black Ray on the other side. 3-man push coming in here for the top of black. Underneath, it's Virtue trying to worm his way through the map.
Yeah, Cyclops have got some good control here, but if they're not aware of that Frost coming underneath, then Virtue's really going to spoil the party, but they were. Chibisu hears him coming, takes him down, and that is the round almost certainly one for Cyclops you would expect at this point. We're able to push in, start finding some kills. Diffuser was going down. It's going to be a flawless round, and they celebrate in style with a nice opener on Skyscraper. It's 1-0.
As you probably come to expect. Secret probably not quite up to the races for this one, knowing that this doesn't change anything for them, whereas for CAG, they know that this does make a difference. That's a lot of fed-up faces, Tim. A lot of fed-up faces.
It is indeed, and understandably so. You know, these players, they don't just... It's not just a couple of months' work towards this tournament. It's the entire year.
It is.
It's the entire year that goes in.
Every
Six
scrim, every league
Invitational,
game, every holiday you have to sacrifice with family, things like
late
that.
night, you know, everything that comes with it is all about this tournament, and it's all about going as far as you can. And you know, at the end of the day, there's 19 teams that are going to walk away from this tournament without winning it. There's only one that's going to stand there and lift the hammer, and that's part of the beauty of it. But I think, like I say, for Secret, there's got to be an element that they believe in themselves that they could have gone further. I'm sure they believe they could win it. I'm sure they believe that they could win it. But even in the cold light of day, you would look at it and say, we should have gone further. We should have got, you know, if we go out, if we lose in the semi-finals, we can take that. But losing at this stage, that's going to feel a little bit different.
Just drawing up some of the numbers here so I can maybe do my own little check until we hear back. I'm curious to know exactly how it sits. At least going by Wikipedia, CAG can't jump above the other two. But I just want to be totally sure before we say anything of that kind. I'll let you know.
You let me know. You keep working on it. Doom is going to get himself into a position just hiding underneath the karaoke screen there. And we'll see whether Cyclops pick up on that. They should do. Ones that should be going through. They're going to be attacking onto the opposite side of the map, so it could be a good position for Doom, realistically. We're going to open up the VIP wall as well. The standard stuff so far from Cyclops get themselves the points of entry that they need. And it looks like Anderson on that shield is going to be looking to get up black stairs and work across from the house side, and that's where it's going to be particularly important. Keep an eye on Doom's player card. Down at the bottom, 2F Karaoke. He is still in Karaoke. If they're not aware of his position, he is going to have a field day from here.
I've done the check and I'll tell you all about it in a minute. Tim.
I
can see how things have been calculated, and I'll tell you it is heartbreaking for CAG. I'll tell you about it in a minute though. We'll see how this round closes out first and foremost. One already falling down. Groovy taken out by Black Ray. Oh, the dream start. Very intel heavy denial coming out, but it's still not stopping a shield charging on through. Anderson's in, but has got the assist coming out from Black Ray. Raven's tip of the spear. 3 kills flying through in the round already. Savage getting one back onto the other side, but Black Ray has got another. A 3K for himself. And Adrian with it all to do. The Boss G in hand, as well as, of course, the secondary. But I think he'll find absolutely nothing here.
No, taking a lot of damage.
That was accidental as well, I think.
It was. It was spraying through the barricade. I think that's just the way Secret's day is going at the minute. Like, Cyclops sprayed through a barricade and hit one of them. It's just how it is. Chibisu manages to get that final kill. That's 2-0 for Cyclops and a perfect start for them. I like to see from Cyclops there, they were bang on top of that. They knew June was hiding in Karaoke. They've gone in and dealt with him. They've not had any surprises sprung on them. They are really laser focused now. They've got that win.
Right, so you ready for the maths,
I'm
Tim?
ready for the maths. Hit me with the maths. Quick maths, quick maths, quick maths.
It is a Golden Castle rule not to do maths live on air, but I don't like following rules, Tim, therefore we're going to do it.
We'll put a caveat on it that everything Des says could be wrong, but it's probably, it's probably right.
It's all right. So, CAG played against Furia and won the first map 8-7, the second one 7-2. That gives them a round difference of +6.
Yep.
We then had Shopify Rebellion play against CAG, where they won 7-5 and 7-2. So the 2 round difference on the first map and a 5 in the second, giving them a round difference of +7.
Yep.
Furia then beat Shopify Rebellion. They won 8-7 and then 7-0, giving them a round difference of 8. So if my numbers stack up right, and at least it matches to what Wikipedia is saying in terms of their assumed standings of this group, then Furia are in place number 2 because they've got +8. Shopify Rebellion are in third because of +7, and CAG starting the lower bracket in 4th place because of +6.
But I'm maybe going to correct you a little bit here because I don't think you've taken account of Furia versus Shopify Rebellion, for example. You've got Shopify at +7, but they took a -7 off Furia.
Where are you looking here? Oh, you're about when you actually wrap everything in?
Yeah, you've got to get their total round. So Furia, Shopify Rebellion have took a big round deficit there. They've got a -7 against. You've only...
I'm back in the workshop, Tim. I'll come back to you in a minute.
Back in the workshop. I said he might be wrong, didn't I? Right, in we
Shut up, man.
Round 3. And it is Cyclops continuing forward here on the attack. 30 seconds in. Still a bit of droning going on. We can see Chibisu, Shuri, and Anaton all on the drones. We've got the Glass coming along as well this time. And they're going to be, again, looking to play in behind those smokes, behind those shields. They've got Sireneko on the Capite. They're not going to make anything easy for Team Secret here. It's going to be very, very tricky. They bring in all the operators they can to make life as hard work as possible. Interestingly, Fresh will be sat there watching this with real interest because gone to Kitchen Barbecue this time of Secret. Maybe they choose to just rotate around every site. Who knows? Savage manages to pick up Sireneko with a Nitro, so that gets something going for Secret at least. Getting aggressive towards top black stairs as well, trying to keep a hold of that vertical control for the time being. Monty is going to push in and just keep on marching down, looking to get the Glass supporting him, but this is a smart play. There's auto canister coming out as well. You have to stand in it for it to have an effect. It's not necessarily going to affect the Glass coming in terms of the thermal scope, I don't think, but it is going to affect his movement at least.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tim. CAG -1, Shopify Rebellion -1, Furia +2. So Furia are out of the conversation now. It's all about CAG and Shopify Rebellion. I'll go and check the next tiebreaker, and I'll let you know.
If they all end up on 8 points.
I'll let you know.
That's the only time. If it comes down to just Shopify and Cyclops, then yeah, I think obviously Shopify got the win, so they will have the better round over Cyclops. If there's just the two of them, it's just it gets more complicated when Furia gets involved. If
Map
Furia
diff
get
and
involved.
then rounds 1 it becomes. And to be fair, Shopify Rebellion are way ahead in round wins, and I don't believe CAG can catch them because they only got the 1 round back on Consulate. They can gain. So they start on 37. Shopify Rebellion have won 60. That's a 23 difference. They will not be able to get 23 out of this series, Tim.
Okay.
The check is complete. CAG are 4th.
Right, okay.
Regardless of what happens here.
But at least you feel that you know why now, Des.
Yeah. I've gone deep in the sauce there, Tim. My brain is not braining.
There we go. Secret managed to get themselves a defense, and they're going to go back up to karaoke and tea. So we.
What was that little karaoke and tea?
I was thinking about bedroom at the same time. So
you just really want to see that site
We're not going to
played.
get bedroom and bathroom. Well, we've had every single site in the game. We just need bedroom and bathroom. We're not going to see it yet. We will see whether they are going to grace us with that. Ooh, look at this. Looking for Savage on a Nitro. Don't think anybody's going to come that way. Are they? Are they? No, they are not. He sends it out, not going to catch anybody. So that does not get Secret the opener that they were looking for. It looks to me like Cyclops are going to mount up for a push across from the VIP side. Try and get control of Dragon and Terrace. Work through Shrine and pressure from there. Last time it was top back stairs. They do have Anaton on the Monte and Chibisu on the Glass. So they could kind of do that again. We'll see where they stack up. It's particularly important where Anaton is more than anything.
Right idea, slightly off on the timing there. Not even landing a single bullet. Onto Black Rays, he planted down those claymores. It means there's no nasty jump outs that CAG are going to have to deal with. I'm sure very experienced to those because of the scrims no doubt taking place in their region and the kind of madness that teams like to pull out. But now, every single player still left alive, though no one in CAG has been pinged out by Secret, and equally, CAG have not managed to punish anyone in Secret if they are split out around the map. It's Anaton once again marching around on this Monty. Will come face to face with Adrian, waiting right in front of him. Can't do much about it for now. Drop his shield and it's a massive risk, but he can at least keep Adrian at bay.
Ruby's going to get himself out there. Ooh, I was just going to say that he's moving into Geisha. Adrian manages to take down Chibisu in the meantime, though. So Secret are looking pretty good here. They've still got a hold of Geisha. They are suffering maybe a little bit to top black stairs now that Anaton's managed to get himself into position. Black Ray manages to take down Adrian, so they need to be cautious of that. Very aware of potential Shrine jump out coming through, but Savage is going to decide that that's really not the move for him at the minute. The wall has been opened up into karaoke, so that gives an opportunity for the big shieldy boy of Anaton to walk his way in and think about getting this diffuser down.
Did check as well to Rooney the GOAT confirm that everything is all well and good. CAG at this point, they're playing for the fun, Tim. And fun they are having. Up 3-1 here in Secret. As you might expect, you're not hearing much in the way of comms. You're not seeing too much going on their side of the field. And Cyclops are off and flying.
Yeah, they're playing with plenty of passion now, plenty of excitement, happy to just go in and take the gunfights. As I say, it really is a match of two halves, this one. It's always one of the harder parts of the tournament, of course, is seeing the teams as they go home, and hard work comes to nothing, and so much emotion and passion on the side of the teams, even when they do go out, of course, just as hard to take as it is. You know, the celebrations are just as hard on the other side when they win. But it's always a tough side of it, and it really drives home the emotion and what it means to everybody. But we continue on. Cyclops into round 5. They're looking to get this one closed out, and then they can go and celebrate properly, I would imagine.
Yeah.
With a little day off tomorrow, which will be now chocked full of scrims ready for phase 2. Something for them to look forward to.
I wouldn't be wholly surprised if teams actually end up having a lot of media to do tomorrow, because of course,
potentially,
at some point we have to get all of our content filmed, and it tends to be on those days where there's breaks in between the action. I'm sure there's a bit of time for scrims in the midst of it all as well, but I remember actually it was Rogue who said this back then. Of course, that's what they were called. Changed to being Koi for a while and all kind of stuff that went on there, and became Fnatic. Back when they were Rogue, I remember saying at the event where they went on to win, it was like, we don't scrim while we're at this event.
Didn't scrim at the event.
And it was always a big question mark, well, why? And it was like, well, we play so much Siege already. All you're talking and thinking about is Siege, 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 Siege. Having some downtime and focusing on that like mental health, being able to have that break from the game and focus on your own self so you come in ready and like primed to play is really important. So you might find actually a good few teams that are still here just don't scrim tomorrow.
This is it. You know, it's certainly a decision to be made. There's all different ways of doing things. Successful bandit trick from Virtue onto the VIP wall. Very nicely done. That's going to prevent that being opened up. They might need to be careful. They don't want to keep wasting Selma charges. In fact, Black Ray's been taken down. There's going to be no more Selma charges. So they're going to have to rely on Shirin Echo at this point. So likely having to be selective now as to which walls will get opened up, if at all, by the Maverick.
That's a huge concern for them, I suppose. Already having 3 rounds on the attacker Skyscraper feels like a massive accomplishment in itself. Oh, from Adrian. Showing no fear and going out and finding his second victim of the round. Shuri taken offline on the Twitch. Still got the shield of Anaton to go charging on forward, and Chibasu's feeling himself. He's hunting something down, but he can't hit his shots. Through with a shotgun straight to the chest is enough. Shirin Echo falls. Anaton with it all to do. Secret may well find themselves a flawless round, just denied away at the last second by Anaton. It's like a shooting gallery at the carnival here, Tim. Nothing else to be said. Tune to close it down. Secret will get another round.
If I would ever back anybody to hit a 1v5 on a shield, it would be Anaton.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Still, I think he would need lots of chances before it came to fruition. It wasn't going to be that time. Cyclops then 3-2 in the lead as Secret managed to grab another round. We're going to be going downstairs for that final defense to Barbecue and Kitchen. And Cyclops, they're going to be looking to get themselves an advantage. I think if they get the advantage at 4-2 going into the half and switching onto the defense, I would strongly favour them at that point to close this out. I think Cyclops on the defense of Skyscraper are going to make it an actual nightmare to attack. I think they're going to see them get very aggressive and the typical sort of Cyclops players that we've come to expect.
Sure. Some madness still to follow in that second half, no doubt. Now we're going to get ourselves through and done on this one. Doom locking himself in tight downstairs inside the pantry. Normally see players try and push through the double door off towards the right-hand side and in through that single door in towards pantry. I think the Cap Cans are going to help in that sense if M tries to rush their way through. And given what you've seen so far, a lot of shield play. I won't be too surprised if we find CAG coming off on the worst end of one of those explosives going off as they try and push their way through. Barbecue and Kitchen just demand that you have that vertical control going your way. There is no Buck on side, for example, to help out with that. Not really much else, truthfully, to help get that job done, Tim. Leaning towards the DMR, mainly coming out of the Dokkaebi to help out with that if they want the verticals or potentially the super short secondary. Good gridlock.
We haven't really seen too much impact from the Glaz so far. I love a nice Glaz play, so I'd like to see Chibisu get in there. And
it's another one of those operators that you've got like a real high fantasy of, but very rarely get to see it realised.
Yeah, you don't really see too much. We've got
Wait,
Zero
have we
on
seen Zero yet this event?
Yes, we have, I think, seen Zero. The remaining ones were Thunderbird, Thorn, and one other, but I can't think who the other one was.
Okay.
But Zero is very, very good as an operator. If you don't use him at home in your ranked games, give him a whirl. Very, very versatile. Got all those cams to go at that can drill through surfaces as well. Got the hard breach gadget. Got a decent gun. Can do an awful lot by himself, can Zero. Very, very self-sufficient. And as we know, Intel reigns supreme in Siege.
Apparently he's been picked 7 times. I ain't seen him once.
No, we haven't seen him, but I was pretty sure. I said there's Dawn, Thunderbird, and one other. I'll check out who else is missing. But yeah, Zero, very, very good. Sureneko going to bring him along, and they're just going to gain a ton of intel from that.
Thunderbird and Thorn apparently it is. Rook we've also seen, so just those 2 operators to go, and then we're all good. So look at the kills have started flying through the round, mind you. Sure, it's been taken down at least partway through. In exchange for Adrian on at the other. Chibisu also not too far off losing his life. Has got a single smoke to play behind. And no more smoke bolts in Anderton's back pocket either. So not as effective now as maybe you'd like to see the Glass be. Still a chance to get this one done over the line. Say that as Virtue absolutely skins Black Ray there on the rappel. And down goes the Dokkaebi.
Not looking good for Cyclops here to get the advantage. It looks like it's probably going to be a 3-3 half here. A Secret fighting back. Ruby and Virtue have taken a little bit of damage along the way, but that so is also true even more for Chibisu, who's just trying to get something going with that glass. They say don't peek into a glass, and Secret see absolutely no reason not to, as June manages to find that kill. Sureneko takes down Virtue 3 versus 2, as Secret just continue to win this war of attrition.
They do. I think they get the 3-3 half, they'll feel... I didn't want to say happy, because after Labs getting a 3-3 half for them felt like an absolute disaster, and they almost paid the price for it. Sureneko on the spray, finds one for himself, still 2 to bring down. Right idea. I think, is he aware? They're not aware that he's here. Gets himself a freebie into the 1v1, could yet net a 4K. It's just June left standing, but the clock is not on Sureneko's side. I'm afraid Tim might be able to recover the diffuser. It's looking miserable, and I was going to say, I said they might walk into one at some point in this round, and that could have been that moment.
That's not maybe the spot. I think he's going to get the angle down onto him there. Yep, if he'd have got behind the counter, he'd have probably got that down. Ultimately, it is...
You tell him, Tim.
Just go behind the counter.
You tell him.
Don't leave yourself with a view on the hatch. I don't think Cyclops are worried about it too much, if I'm honest. So Secret managed to get that. They close it out. It's 3-3 now. So an even split on the half. Cyclops move on to the defence. I think things might get a little trickier for Secret to be picking up rounds here, given that Cyclops should be a little bit more comfortable now. They're heading into Karaoke and T to kick things off.
They're really just having us on if they send this through to overtime, by the way.
They're just piling the hours on us at that point. They've decided that they just want to shut us up, so they'll make us cast as much as possible and hope that our voices give out.
Yeah. It wasn't far off during our series earlier on today. That was some intense Siege. It was great.
It was excellent stuff. That's the sort of games that, as casters, we get up for in the morning. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We love the storylines. We love the results when they're unexpected. It was an awful lot of fun. Ultimately, I had no shaping whatsoever on the group. BDS still finished top.
Yep.
Falcons and Shopify still went through, as did Dark Zero. I think there might have been a place like switched around here and there, but ultimately the same 4 teams still went through. BDS still got a top. It was, you know,
nothing has changed.
Nothing really changed that much.
Yeah, because Raza Company needed a 2-0 if they wanted to jump over BDS and take first spot in that group, but that's okay.
Oh, a bit of a rush coming here from Secret.
Yeah.
They're just going to run straight up Black Stairs, get that top door open,
the juice
try
is
and
in.
Pressure. Anderton's going to need to be careful here. He is careful. Manages to take down Virtue with a Nitro. June takes out Chibisu 1-for-1 as the push continues. Secret rolling over him, actually. 4 versus 3 now. Adrian finding Black Ray. They're going to open up this wall. Should be straight in and planting here. It's going to be up to Gruby on the Monty. Doom is at the top of Drum Stairs as well, just preventing the push back across. Gets one, can't find the second. Cyclops is standing tall at the minute. The diffuser is not going down. It's 2v2.
And there's 1v1s breaking out here as the shield was pushing down onto Shroop, I believe, and Anderton at range trying to do something else. How far do you really want to chase him here? You've got a lot of time to do it with. Is it a good time to play tag around Skyscraper? Probably not.
Just having absolutely nothing to do with that fight. No, I'm not going to challenge the Monty. The diffuser is going down. Grubby's going to be able to plant successfully. So you don't have a choice, Cyclops, anymore. There will be no more running. You need to go in and get these kills. Grubby's going to be killed, actually, by Anaton, I would say. He was actually standing just on top of the diffuser. He was going to try and really go for the hard hold with the shield in front of him. Nade goes out. Anaton, you're going to have to run. You got to run.
It was Shuri, but he starts the way, and Anaton will claim the credit for the disable. I think Shuri realised a little bit late that there was a nade at his feet there and had to leg it.
Cyclops nice. Managed to get the job done on the retake. Good effort from Secret. A nice little rush attempt. They got in there. They got their kills. There was opportunity to put the diffuser down, but they just couldn't get it done in the end.
Ooh. All right. What do we try now? Another rush? Some of the kind of cheese? When you're in a spot where you know you're going home, it's a good time to pull out all the wacky stuff that you'd love to play, but don't really get a chance to in the pro scene because you've got to take things that are lower risk. The Maru through the hatch, maybe Timmer. Sends execute over an exhibition and office. Could be a nice way to start to round things out. Nice they throw in the kitchen sink here at CAG. Seen the Ying coming along. I thought the Blitz was going to stick, but that's now been swapped away instead for the Striker. Now over to the Ash. It's a little bit of dancing around, but nothing too crazy. More on CAG to try and deal with crazy when it comes to hitting them in the face.
Exactly that. Exactly that, as we move across to the opposite side of the top floor, office and exhibition. And what have we got on the side of Secret?
I want to see the Amaru just fly
We've
up the
got
hatch.
a Sense, we've got a Ying. I wonder what's going to happen here then.
Brought in the Thatcher last minute as well.
Yeah, definitely going to, I think, almost certainly going to look to go underneath and try and get up that hatch with the shotgun and see what they can get going. Interestingly, it's Adrian who's got diffuser in hand, so it's not going to be June going for the plant. So that plan could still be flexible. We might not see them going underneath, but I would kind of expect so at the minute. They just need to get a little bit of breaching done. Well, you know
They're
what?
not going underneath now, Tim.
Scratch that, because Anaton has just ruined everybody's fun by taking out the Amaru with a Nitro.
How dare he? At best now they can make something happen with the Ying and with the Zens, but that really is about it, I'm afraid. And the main breach opened up. Took a few smokes in there. Go crazy with the Zens light walls. Why not? Sure, it can all work out just fine from there. No more C4s in the back pocket for CAG as well. They got away with the first one, but no second asks or attempts, I'm afraid, trying to get rid of another player with them. Impact maybe to play behind if so desired, but that is about it. And Tim, you just know that there's the goo mines around and the cat can traps, as well as the frost mats. There's a lot of things that can upset Secret here when they go for their push in.
Absolutely, they've gone for it. They're going to try and put the diffuser down, and they're not going to put the diffuser down. Shuri steps out, manages to get the kill onto Adrian. Savage finds one of his own, holding that angle across, but the bigger problem here for Team Secret is that the diffuser is down cold inside of sight. Savage doesn't have any more utility on the Sense to be able to use to protect them to get in and collect that, so they're going to have to find kills, no more option. Cyclops are just going to sit and hold their angles here, I think. 4 versus 3. They've got the man advantage. They know that there's not really much they need to do. Virtue doesn't have any Candelas left. There's no EMPs. There's basically no utility really for them to play in behind. 2 nades, that's all they've got.
Well, not a lot of chance to get this round over the line. I told you at some point, Tim, they'd run into one of those gadgets. Just didn't quite expect it to be a Frostmat over in Geisha, given what site we're trying to push into, but that'll leave Savage limping around for a while. Not the most ideal spot to be in. A kill trade coming out here. In the middle, well, not really a kill trade, 4 different players involved, but kill trade between the 2 teams. It's nice and tight here. He's going to be careful. A tiny little step out, and he is dead to rights. He's anticipating it. The patience being shown by the other. He's giving him nothing.
Just triggering the Banshee as he moves across there. It's going to tell them Virtue's calling for the medic. We've got a broken leg. Just moving across, the Banshee's going to tell Cyclops that somebody is just outside of that breach. Savage holding his position on the window for the time being. Doesn't want to get caught in another Frostmat and will not, but very difficult to get anything going. 20 seconds left to go. Unlikely that Secret are able to turn anything out here. A lot of damage coming into Grubby, who gets taken down. It's Chibisu who finds him. Savage is going up on it at the minute.
But he certainly can't chase people down, Tim. He's got a gammy leg.
He's got 20 HP. Can he? I was going to say, is he going to walk through the triple cap can to end it? But no, he doesn't. He takes them out, but can't find the players he needs. And Cyclops go into the lead, 5-3.
Nice.
As anticipated. Come on, boys. Pick that site just for the bingo card. That's all we need.
Barbecue Kitchen, Des.
Really?
Barbecue Kitchen.
Really?
I don't think, I could be wrong in saying this, but I don't think they care about the bingo card. I know that's probably going to come as a surprise to many.
What's that, sorry?
I said it might come as a surprise, but I don't think they care about the bingo card.
No, I can't imagine CAG do it. They've got bigger things on their mind now, like, phase 2 of SI.
Big things to worry about. Secret are going to take a tactical timeout.
It's just time for a little chat.
Yeah.
How you guys feeling? We've been bruised and battered for the last half an hour. Yeah. Like, you guys okay? We have something fun?
Well, at the end of the day, like, they've suffered a big loss today, but you can see there's still some laughs, there's still some smiles, and it speaks to, the outfit as a team probably, and the way that they obviously function. It's you're being supportive of each other. You're all in it together. You've all taken the loss. You're all unhappy, but at least there's a couple of laughs and smiles about the place. We've got to remember at the end of the day, that's a big part of why we're here as well.
That was too hippie for me, Tim.
Sorry. It's true, though.
Please never say that again.
It's true. You start playing Siege to have fun. I'm not saying that's, what it's all about at this level. Of course, it gets serious when you're a pro gamer and you're playing at big tournaments like this. But, having that camaraderie with your team and being able to laugh during the bad times, it's certainly not a bad thing.
I remember explicitly what it was that put me off Siege. You started playing it back in the beta. Occasionally get called a hacker for having the fire skin, whatever. We played in a Go 4. Me and my mates played not a lot of Siege, but we signed up for one. And we came up against the sweatiest stack of players I think I've ever... even more so than even today. They were super tryhard. Bearing in mind it was in beta, it had just come out. These guys, we got 2 kills all map. It was that level of miserable. I can't shoot straight anyway. I think one of our 2 kills came from the C4. It was that kind of level of dire. And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't enjoy it at this level. It was on console. It was old console. I absolutely despised it. And then didn't pick up the game again for a few years until I think it was start of 2018. Started playing it again. And then here we are now.
Unstoppable. Not a day goes by that I don't miss old console. I like the new one as well, as it happens, but I do miss the old one. Shiran Echo going to take down Groovy. That's a nice opener for Cyclops. They feel like they might just be on the downhill a little bit here. I suggested that might happen when they got onto the defence, and they're certainly looking pretty comfortable so far. Virtue, he's just going for a little waddle. On the knock. See if he can get himself into a tricky position, maybe find a couple of kills. The mirror window here just feeding all sorts of information in as well, watching that rappel going up and down, But ultimately, he's going to get taken out.
I wonder how many people are still perfect on their predictions, by the way, for the tournament.
Not many, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, you say that. You look
I think
at the
secret elimination will have been a big one to...
Maybe, yeah.
To throw people off. I can't see many people would have predicted secret going out.
I think other groups are relatively predictable, though. Relatively.
Fairly. I think, yeah, fairly predictable.
I don't think many had W7M being down in 4th place in their group, to be fair.
I think that one will have thrown off. I think a lot of people will have had W7M at the top of that group. I think people won't have predicted Secret to drop out of this one. So, yeah, I think it will have been a tough round in the predictions.
W7M probably jump into 2nd place if they beat Scars.
Yeah, they have got a game on.
In their...
if they beat Scars.
Is that game on now on the A stream, actually? I think it is.
Anyway, we've got a game that's going on here as well. Secret have managed to get a couple of kills, 4 versus 3. Cyclops looking to... close this one out. 1 minute left to go. There's the challenge onto the window. Got a blitz in. It's a little bit like having a wasp in the room when you've got blitz in there with you. It can be a great distraction, but Savage is going to try and get something going. Doom is low health as well. Oh. Savage manages to get Anaton there. Who better to get with a shield kill than Anaton himself? 2 versus 3 then, it's all up to Sharif. He does have health on his side, I'll give him that. Savage not opting to put the diffuser down just yet. That's 1 for Sharif. It's him versus a blitz. Run away! Run away, Sharif!
He's gone. Will Savage just go for it here? Yes, he will. He's going to have to pull off at some point. The problem is the closer you get in here, you know exactly what's going to happen. Oh, hit me! No, run away! Run away! He's gone. Okay, back again. For God's sake. Very good. Very good.
I'm pretty sure it's quite a specific thing, really, because you wouldn't see it very often. I think I'm right in saying Sharif was on the Azami then. And when you get the melee kill, obviously it's the knife logo on the kill feed.
Yeah.
But it comes up with the kunai logo if it's Azami. Very nice.
There you go.
Yeah, very nice. It's obviously just one of the things that you don't see very often because only Azami gets a melee kill. Yeah. I could be wrong, but we might have it on the replays here, I'm not sure. But
no, I did see it, you are right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You are right, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. It's like when you if you punch somebody with a Rooney, it comes up with a fist logo. Yeah, there you go. Little kunai logo.
Would have been far cooler if you threw a kunai at him to kill him.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would have been. I don't think it would have done the job though. I think it's not that game mode. I can't remember what the game mode was called. It was played on Skyscraper, where you'd get like the super powered ones, and you could run around and just like one-shot people with them. It's not normally like that. You wouldn't do that much damage. But here we go then into what could be the series winning round for Cyclops. They are looking to close this one out. We're going to be in Karaoke Tea. And they're going to try to get this done. Will Team Secret play spoiler?
I don't think we should show that conversation.
Maybe not.
Anderton does say some really mad stuff in the all chat when we're getting into a game. Many of those made it onto the timeline as well, so there's plenty that you can go and look up. Poor Doom. Poor Doom. No more part to play in this round, and potentially not even in this SI. That might be him done.
Yeah, certainly could be. And the knock here is just going to go absolutely sprinting in Virtue. See if he can find anybody. Groupie does manage to pick up Anaton, so that levels things up at 4 versus 4. Knock looking to move his way up house stairs. See the flashbang go out ahead. How about that from Sharik? Beautiful stuff. Knew that the player was on the other side inside a barbecue. Opens up the wall, finds the headshot. Beautiful stuff. Sharik manages to find another onto Savage, and it looks like it could be all over for Team Secret. 3 versus 1 as Chibisu manages to take down Virtue. It's all up to Adrian if they want to rescue something, but the likelihood is that Cyclops are going to get their big moment to celebrate. Don't get me wrong, they celebrated plenty after map 2 as well, but I think there's going to be a bit more coming from them. They know that they're going on to phase 2. They know that they've had a great performance so far this week in the group stages.
Oh, I bet he really wanted another drone to come through so he could just run at Adrian whilst he was sat on the drone, but no such joy. But I am with you, Tim. Lights out. Party's over. The Team Secret, we wave goodbye to them. It's one of our last teams going home from phase 1. Of course, more will come.
He's not Drum. Don't look there.
Let him win. Just let him win.
He's not in Drum. I don't know why you're looking in Drum. Adrian swings around from Drum, manages to get the kill onto Blattery. Is there any more for him? Yes, there is. Downs him 1v3, effectively becomes a 1v1. Can he find the last onto Chibisu? He is quite literally 1 HP and a dream. Chibisu needs to land 1 bullet. Peeks around the corner and finds him. He had the intel from his teammates, knew exactly where they were coming from. Cyclops closed it out and will be our APAC representative in phase 2 at the Six Invitational 2025.
It's always good to see CAG make it out as well, because through history, Tim, they've always fell short in groups, if you recall. We've not seen them make it out and go on to press. Now, of course, that doesn't mean they make it to a main stage where the audience will get to watch them.
Hey, who knows?
Normally, group stage, we say, is a phase 1, phase 2 thing, and then live stage quarterfinals is where audiences then roll up. But work to be done. Who knows? Maybe we do see them press on here, Tim, and we will be speaking about them next weekend.
You get into a world of knockout games nowadays where kind of anything can happen. We saw that today. You know, teams will beat and will have unexpected results, so who knows? All that Cyclops can do is get themselves through to those matches, and then we see what happens, and they've done the first bit of that.
Well, enjoy some replays while we go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a little more of a chat about this series to close things up.